I wouldn't use the word dangerous, but hey ho. So I just don't want people to then say how they were triggered, you know, and affected, when I've made it very perfectly clear this is a discussion on DV. I was going to discuss something else as well, wasn't we? What was the other thing? Oh, stepmoms. I don't know if we have time we can discuss that as well. No one but yourself is in control of your own mental health being. Yep. Can help. The Hardys too. I don't really know anything about the Hardys. What's happened with them? Angie's debates are the best. Oh, thank you. So yeah, he wants you, but I'll tell him I'm doing a discussion on DV. I'm getting cold now. Shit, one sec. God, you know what? Now I don't feel too good. It's always in the afternoon I feel like this. One sec. That's another thing we were going to discuss, stepmoms. How you feel, you know, when you're not with your man anymore and they have someone else in their life. And how would you feel about your child being around them? That's another thing we were going to discuss, wasn't it? Bun CEO. So anyway, guys, let's continue. So listen, I don't want to trauma dump and things, but obviously we are talking. You know, we are talking about DV. I have been in a DV. Do I give a shit? Do I care that you believe me? No, I don't. I don't give two fucks. So I was in a DV with a guy. It was mainly verbal abuse more than anything else, like things, and also things like what I wore. You know, we always used to say, "Oh my God, you look a state," and you know, I know I do now, but at the time I used to wear nice clothes and you know, and that kind of thing. And you know, many years ago. So yeah, there was a lot of like verbal abuse and emotional, mental, and all of that kind of thing. Like things I had to have. I had to call him at a certain time, and things like that. And then. So I had to call him at a certain time and stuff like that. So it was more verbal and things, and you know, he used to do things that were cruel, you know, to upset me, because he seemed to get off with seeing me upset, and it was really weird. But then I met another guy, and I was with him for about 7 years. 7 years I was with him for. And I didn't see kind of, I did see it, but I didn't really like, until I left the relationship, kind of, you know, what he did and what, you know, the control, very, very controlling. It was like, oh, sorry, I got sore foot. And then I met this other guy, and he was also the same way. So you know, I was saying about the pattern, you know, especially when you're not healed from that first relationship. So I kind of went straight into another relationship when I wasn't kind of healed, I suppose. So I went into another relationship, and yeah, and that was physical. Not so much verbal, but physical, and I think that's when I hurt my back. You know, sometimes I get really problems with my back. Once you have problems with your back, that's it, forget it. And I think I was sitting on the bed, right, and I think you hit me in the face. This is a trigger, guys. And we were having an argument, and then he got me by here, and then he kind of pushed me back. It was in a hotel, and he pushed me back, and I kind of fell backwards like that, and I couldn't walk for about 6 weeks. So that's that. And then the police turned up, because a guest in the hotel phoned the police to say. Anyway, the police turned up, spoke to me separately, as they do, and they asked me if he had, you know, hit me, and I said no. I lied, and he said, "Are you sure? Because this is what the guest is saying." I said, "No, it's not." So anyway, as we're going into the hotel room, he was there. And he was getting upset for me, saying, "Oh my God, are you okay?" You know, very manipulative, scared that I was going to tell the truth to the police officer. The manipulation was really, yeah, it was very, very, very manipulative. And I didn't really, and I stayed with him. We didn't live together. You know, so when I said about there are some women that do stay in DV relationships, you know, I'm one of them. You know, I could have left him, but I didn't. I knew it was wrong. You know, I lied to the police, you know what I mean? Well, that's the first time I lied to the police anyway, because there was another report after that, and I did tell the truth. and I did too. Yeah. So I did lie for him, and that was that, right? And then kind of fast forward, we got a place together. So we did live together, but I still had hair. I could have left. I didn't fit. Did I fear for my life? No. At the time, was I scared? Yes. You know. And then there was another time when what happened? That's it. He smashed up the whole flat, smashed up my laptop and everything. And what did I do though? I said something to him. I can't remember. I said something. Anyway, he ended up phoning the police on me, and that's it. He bit my arm. That's it as well. So anyway, I managed to get his keys right, and I took his car, which I had driven before. And I got into his car and I drove to the police station because he took my phone and my car keys. So I didn't have my car or my phone, so I took his keys to get in the car. This is a new place, like where we were living, Hampshire. So this is a new place, right, we were living in. So I didn't know the neighbours, you know, and it was all kind of very close. So I didn't know, do I run away? So I decided to get into his car to drive to a police station. I thought, you know, he's got a GPS. I mustn't find, you know, a police station. And then he... Oh, that's it. So I drove around the blocks. I didn't know what to do. Parked the car, right? And he phoned the police to say I took his car. So I arrived there to find the police there. And I told them my story. And I said, this is what happened. Go and have a look at the flat. Look at the mess. And he said, he said, and they said, and they were going to arrest me for taking his vehicle. You know what I mean? It was really bizarre. I ended up making a complaint about that, and this police officer, female police officer, actually denied me even telling her everything. And I said, I told you everything. You saw the bite mark on my arm. You saw everything, the flat, you know, and all of that. So, yeah, but that's my story anyway. There's a lot more to it, but I don't want to bore you because I don't want to be trauma dumping. Do you know what I mean? But whether you believe me or not, it doesn't matter. I don't care. You know what I mean? Who's in here? Capiche. Hi, Capiche.
Hello, my lovely. Can we just pin the national domestic?
Yeah, do we have the numbers here, guys, so we can pin them? The thing is, though, Capiche, I don't think the poll is working. Yeah, we can't pin it when someone's in the box, though. Where's Capiche gone? She might be getting the number. Look.
So it's 0808 2000 247, which is the National Domestic Abuse.
Pin it, though, so
Yeah.
can someone put it on a poster or something so I can put it up in my background? I can't pin it when people are in the boxes, guys.
Okay, yeah. No, that's fine. I just wanted to make sure, you know, that there is help out there for people that, you know, are still trying to deal with it and trying to live with it and, you know, and escape from it, because we all know how bad it can be.
Yeah, I'm going to see if I can green screen it here. Give me a sec, guys. Let me put myself on the big screen. I don't know if you can't see it though because it's right at the bottom. Can't see it, can you?
No, going away.
Oh, damn it.
Is it pinned?
No, we can't pin it because people are in the box.
Okay.
You only can see it if that's the number, guys. But I want to keep.
Oh, yeah, you can kind of see it now.
Yeah, that's the
right.
guys.
0808 2000 247, and that's the National Domestic Abuse Helpline.
Yeah, is that for both genders? Because
Yes.
they sometimes have a separate one for men, don't they?
It should be for both genders.
Oh,
Yes, both.
There's no discrimination.
yeah. So So there's a number, guys. So write that down. I'll occasionally show you it. Okay, here 0808 2000 247. Yeah. So what I was saying before, because like I said, I don't know if you've just joined, but I'll just quickly repeat what I said. Right, that everyone's experience with DV is different, right? And my experience was I could leave, but I chose to stay. I'm not saying it's right. Wouldn't put that on my worst enemy, to go through what I went through, what other people have gone through in regards to DV. But what I'm saying is there are some women that do have children that stay with their partner or husband, and they can leave. They've got somewhere to go, but it's, I love him, or he might change. And I think that's very different. Did you get what I'm saying? That women do that, but people just want to, use this excuse, oh, well, he's manipulating her, there's trauma bonding, he's controlling her, all those kind of things. And it's just sometimes clearly that, no, she just wants to stay with him because she loves him. She wants to stay with him because she don't feel she maybe would find anyone else, it's comfortable, whatever reason it may be. And I think people need to think of the children. Do you get what I'm saying? And I think women, those type of women, don't think of the children. You know what I mean? And then they only think when their children is removed from the home. And don't get me wrong, guys, I'm not talking about women who fear for their life. I understand that. Hi, Italia. Or people that financially can't leave because of financial reasons and they're stuck. They've got nowhere to go. They've got no friends. They've got nobody. I'm not talking about those women. I'm talking about women that purely want to stay or go back to the abuser. Yeah, I'm not blaming her, saying, well, it's her fault. But what I am saying is, if your children are removed, you cannot blame social services for that. You've got to put your kids first, because what about mental health? What kids experience? There's so much, how many women and men, talk about their mental health on here, and it's usually to do with their childhood trauma.
Well, I can speak on my behalf. My abuser, okay, he was abused himself. There was domestic violence in the family. His father used to beat living crap out of him. His mum never left until the kids were old enough. So I'm not saying it's an excuse, but obviously that went on to me, if that makes sense. When I was with mine for 7 years, luckily I had no children with him. But I was absolutely under coercive control. I had beatings. If I decided to leave him, I was stalked. I had to have an injunction taken out on him, etc. But I went back every time because I was I was under his control. Basically, my mind, was made to feel like I was absolutely worthless. Absolutely, completely worthless, and that nobody would want me.
Capiche, was that because, can I just sort of say something very similar to you? This is what I was going to say. I'm not here to trauma dump, but obviously been through it as well. But back in the 80s, and what's something that Black Pope said about resources, that there's not that many resources. There was hardly any resources back then. You didn't have mobile phones. You didn't have the internet to look up where you could go, where you could get help. So you were stuck. If you weren't getting on with your family and you had nowhere to go, where did you go? You were stuck in that situation. And I was stuck in that situation for many years until a friend physically dragged me out and said, enough is enough. You've got to get out. But there's so much more help now, I think, for men and women than what there was back then. So I don't understand why he said there is no resources, there's no help.
You sent the helplines to me, thank you. Well, let me just put these up then, one sec.
And somebody's put in the comments, if there's any men in here, that would like to speak, then, we'd love to hear from you as well, because it's not just women, it's men as well. We need to obviously state that, because it is men as well that can be in abusive relationships. But you are right, Maddie, because back then, you look back in the olden days, the women just had to put up with it and look after the kids.
Yeah, because there was no internet. There was nothing. You could just look up, you know, oh, where can I get help? There was nowhere.
Oh, that's brilliant, Ange. Well done.
Yes, that's better.
Yeah. So there is Men's Advice Line, Refuge, Samaritans, Shout Tech. So there's the numbers. Mind. What's the one? Victim Support's at the bottom. I don't know if you can see that, guys. I will occasionally show you this because otherwise, you know, you won't be able to see it with big heads in the way. So there's the numbers.
And victim support don't get enough recognition. I mean, like, they literally saved me. Victim support did. Literally.
Yeah. So they are very good because they will help you through the process and what you need to do and things. Well, I mean, can I ask you guys a question? What about when you've got you're in a DV home with children?
I mean, I had my son with me, and in the end, for my own sanity and his safety, that's when my friend said, "You've got to leave," and I thought, I need help, and she kindly put me up. He did come round and try and drag me out, but I got an injunction as well in the end, even though he kept pestering me. But the best thing is for your kids is to go, leave, take your children away from that. You don't want them growing up around that.
Do social services help, though, people that have kids? Or, you know, because I have heard people say, oh, no, social services, they're scared about, you know, having their kids removed from the house.
I think back then social services did help me a little bit, but I don't know now. I think there are a lot sort of more, I think anything, you know, a couple of strikes, kids fall over and all that, and the social services are called, and people are very sort of, they're not sure about ringing social services for help because they are frightened, I think.
Yeah.
What the outcome may be.
Women that go, you know, stay, and not. I know your situation is different, Capiche, because of what you went through. But women that just do stay because it's that I love them. You know, you got Remy who's with Giadro, you know, and that Sophie Rose went with Giadro, knowing about his past, you know, his DV past and things. And women like that have children. These are the women I talk about mainly. That, you know, you've got kids. How can you can leave? You can financially, leave. So why would you stay? I mean, they want to be with them. Do you know what I mean? And a lot of women do that, don't they?
That I can't get my head around. She's seen the Clare's Law. She knows, and she's still adamant about going ahead with it.
Tell us what we don't know what we're talking about. Would you like to join the box? Do you know what I mean? Because I think every situation is different. And I mean, some women that just want to stay with their husband or partner, you know, because they love them. No other reason.
I mean, the only thing I can link to that, as I said, you know, there was no children involved. But because what he went through, I think that's why he became the way he did. Not everybody does. You know, it's either one way or the other. But he became the way he was because he was mirroring what he went through, basically. That's all I'm going to put on it. That's my situation. You know, it's completely separate. The spectrum is huge.
Sorry.
It's a huge spectrum on, you know, what's happening, how they're being coerced, what, you know, and is it that easy to leave with kids?
Jason, it was multiple times, yeah. But it wasn't as bad as the situation with Capiche or anything like that. Do you know what I mean? But it was a few times, yeah.
I think it's harder when you've got kids. I do think it's harder because you need to have a roof over your head. It's not so easy just to walk out the door and just wander around. You do need somewhere definitely to go.
Yeah.
Someone actually made a good point as well. You can get Stockholm Syndrome from it as well.
Can you explain the Stockholm Syndrome, Capiche?
So you basically fall in love with your abuser. That is what it is, Stockholm Syndrome. I mean, if I looked it up in the dictionary, I'd be able to give you more of it. But that's basically what it is.
Yeah, but can I ask you a question, right? And I understand that. But is that good enough excuse to stay with your abuser when you've got children?
I can't answer that one for you. I'm not the right person to answer that.
Yeah. What do other people think? If you have children and you want to stay because you have Stockholm Syndrome?
Yeah.
Not an excuse. And this is exactly what I was trying to say earlier. There's no excuses, you know what I mean? Well, he's, you know, manipulated me or anything like that. Do you know what I mean? If you've got kids, then leave.
Right, Angie, thanks anyway. I'm going to drop down, let someone else pop up. Thanks for having me.
I'll put some more people in the boxes.
I'll drop out and drop me out.
You talk a pinch. I can look.
Well, you can keep me in. I'm quite happy to stay in. It's not, you know, but there's people that, you know, that can speak about the situation a little bit more, which the actual topic is about.
Turn another in the box.
Yeah. Hiya, Linz.
Hi, yeah, I think Stockholm Syndrome's more where you sympathise with the abuser, but like I said, I don't think that is an excuse. My opinion is, like, I know how hard it is, but I think you need to put your feelings and your trauma aside because your children, they didn't ask to be here, so I think you really do need to put them first. I know it's hard, but you need to.
Yeah, 100%.
I do agree with that because I don't think I would have gone through everything that I went through if him as a child didn't go through everything that he went through. And again, I want to reiterate, not everybody, you know, you go one way or the other. If you've been in it as a child.
My career changes all the time. You're talking about my DV. Listen, I've never really spoken about my DV. The only part I spoke about really was when I hurt my back and kissed off the bed in the hotel room.
Hi, can I just say, my mum stayed with her partner. She had 4 of us, and she would make me hide in the garden while we watched him through the window, smashing the house up. She used to, like, you know, and then when she'd forgive him, we would have to forgive him, you know. Oh, you know, don't say anything about yesterday, don't set him off again. You know, it's just like she just didn't care.
You think it was a little bit more normalised back then when it was kind of like, well, just, you know, you just get on with it.
Yeah, and I think that's why as the people in their 30s plus like a bit more tougher.
Hi. Can I just say, like, with my opinion, yes, I have been through really bad DV. Like, I've literally got an indefinite restraining order on my abuser, and he's in prison for a very long time. So yes, I have.
How long is he in prison for, Linz?
You what, sorry?
How long is he in prison for?
I'll tell you off the app because it's my son's father. So, like, I would talk about it, but I think it's a bit disrespectful to my son because he doesn't know, like, the full reason why he is in prison. Do you know what I mean? So, I'll tell you off the app.
Okay. Hi, who's speaking? Hi, buddy.
Hi.
Oh,
Hi, it's me, LB. I went through 7.5 years I did of abuse with my kid's father. I prosecuted him. I sent him to prison. He done his time. He come out. I never stopped him seeing the kids. He never done nothing to the kids. He's been a good father. I can't never state him for not being a father. But, yeah, he took me the 4th time of the police coming out to actually prosecute him. I let him get away with it, lied for the first 3 times, even though I was clearly battered. Like, I was really in bad ways. He used to put me in hospital. I did the social services. What I did it's called an escape plan when you're under control of your partner. It's called an escape plan. So you eventually build up. So I had the backing of the school. So I took his name off the school behind his back with social services. He only found out when he threatened to go and collect the kids from school because obviously he has parental rights. We both do. So he could go collect the kids from school whenever he wanted. When he used to threaten that was my way of, I need to get him off everything. I need to get away because if he takes away my kids, I could never see my kids again. Do you know what I mean? So that was being my fault because I never prosecuted him the first 3 times when he was arrested. And obviously then he found out and I prosecuted him on the last one. But social services offer what's called a freedom programme. I don't know if anyone's ever done one.
Yeah, I've done that. It's really good, isn't it?
I can rep that saved my life. That gives me an open. You know, when you're in a controlling relationship, it gives you an outlook on it.
LB,
and it opened my eyes to a lot.
You know, when I was like doing, because I went to Wayside Women in Need, right? And literally we started doing the freedom program, and it was like the first like thing it was like, has he ever said this? Like, so we had to mark off like what they've said. And I was just looking at it, and I was like, really? Does other men actually do this? Like, is this like a thing? Like, because I only thought that I was like the only one that was like going through because I'd done something wrong. It was mad.
Yeah. The things that you think are them giving you reassurance about them loving you is another way of control. When you do them programs, you look at it and you're like, that's a hell of a lot of gaslighting I was under, or do you know
Yeah,
what I
yeah.
mean? It's
It makes
Right,
it
um,
makes you like click, doesn't it, in your mind, thinking, God, that
yeah.
wasn't even my fault. It was
What
mad.
what got me with the social services though is that they got involved obviously, and I actually did a feeding program, which I was willing to. I did it twice just to make sure it was in my head to make me a stronger person for my next relationship. Um, and I was told, obviously, he was in prison. I was told that he was going to do a parenting course, an anger management course, all this and that, and social never stuck to it at all. I felt like the one that was, I don't know, putting pressure on, like as a parent. But yet, I protected my children. You know what I mean? None of my kids actually seen me get the beatings. They heard it from the bedrooms. Um,
But do you think it'll be like the police? Like, I thought the police were really good in my case, but I think it was the courts that was letting them let
Call let
Stevie
me down. They
victims
had to
down. Yeah,
apologise. The paperwork wasn't put through, so he got sent down on a common assault and something like that. He should have been down on ABH because obviously I had stitches and facial fractures, which court wasn't aware of because paperwork wasn't put through on CPS's behalf on time. So, because once they got sent down on one charge, they on remand they can't rechange that charge, otherwise it can be chucked out, and he would never
yeah,
be prosecuted for it. So they give me a 10-year restraining order when he come out, because they had to apologise. He should have done years. He didn't. He only done 2.5. Served half of that. So obviously they give me a bigger restraining order as a sorry, which still stands to this day. I mean, he's been out so many years. Obviously I still have to communicate with him. He's the father of my kids, but
may
it's one
I
of them.
ask? Sorry, Albie. May I ask how many times before it came to that did things happen, and then I know myself, it was like, no, I don't want to press charges. I don't want to press charges. I don't want to press charges. I
So
don't
it
want
was the fourth time the police come out, but it was my 8th battering. So when I done like the freedom program, I sat there and I done my interview with the police. It was the little things like, oh, well, he come home from work a couple of months prior and he was upset because his tea wasn't cooked, so he kicked the plate up in my face and it split my face. And I just thought, oh, that's because he was in a mood. No, that's an abuse. But you know what I mean? So when you look at it, it all added up. So it's like my 8th beating. It took me 8 beatings, and that final beating, it's only because he nearly killed me.
they say on average it's like a woman needs to be like sort of, it's on average like
They say
seven or eight
seven
times.
beatings, seven to
Yeah.
8 beatings for him to actually say enough's enough. And it did me, I'll be honest. But it's made me a stronger woman, a hell of a lot stronger woman. I wouldn't wish it upon anyone. It's not nice, Stevie. It's not nice. But I'm proud where I am and I've come out of it. Do you think he's the father of my kids? I have to communicate, unfortunately, till they're like 18. We communicate every other weekend. We have to. But do you think he would ever speak to me that way again? No, he wouldn't. Because he can see it in me, how I've changed as a stronger woman. He was an older bloke when I got with him, so I was like, I just left school and he was 5 years older than me. So that they say he had control from the beginning. He made me fall in love with him easy. Do you know what I mean? He had me straight from the hook, and then he babbled me up, and boom, that's it. Because as his words to the police, I own her. And the police says, how do you own her? And he went, because I have children with her, I own her. And the police says, no, you don't.
Did anybody like who's been through DV, you know, when you had your first child, like was your abuser like ever like jealous of the attention that you were showing your kids? Like it was just weird. He was like genuinely jealous of my son.
Yeah, when I had my daughter, my second child, not so much my son, when I had my daughter, it was.
Wow. Sweetie, Sweetie, are you there? Sweetest, are you there? Hello? Oh, no. Hi, Nick.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Yeah, I'm here.
Hiya, what do you want to say?
I don't even know. Bit scared.
I mean, listen, if you don't feel comfortable about talking about it, it's fine.
When when a woman's got everything before they meet the man, like when a woman has their own home, their own cars, they got a nice home, and then they meet someone and have children with them. I had it all before I met the man. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like I had it all before I had a man.
Right.
So when you have a man and you've got everything, you've got your own home, you got the cars, and you give him a company, you give him the home, the life, the children, like, and they want to marry you, and they want to give you that stuff. But when a woman's got it all, and she's had it all before the male,
Are you saying that he was jealous of what you had, and he felt kind of, he didn't feel like on the same power as you?
yeah, probably later on, yeah, probably.
He didn't like you had independence.
Yeah, but I'm not. My dad was a hard man.
He didn't abuse you.
I'm sorry.
Oh, no, it's okay. It's right. I mean,
A hard man. If you lay in your bed and you make your decisions, you fucking lie in it. Yeah? You make your bed, you lie in it. There's the front door, up you pop. And that is how I've been. So I had my own home, I had a 2-bedroom house, a drive, the lot. Met my partner, they live with my mum. He's my brother's best friend. Got with him, had children. And because everything was mine, he didn't like it. Because I own my own home. I had money. I moved to Chigwell. I got my own home. I buy it myself because that's how my dad brought me up.
yeah.
Is that the one who you went with when you were 13, sweetest? Is that the one who you're talking
No,
about?
that's my eldest daughter that's getting married. She getting married in 3 weeks' time with her dad. And her dad was my ever first love. Like, I never knew nothing different. When you're a traveller and you're a young age, my parents took him on because his parents didn't want him. He moved in my mum's house when I was 13. We was together all the way to 13 to 21. And we had Emily, and he cheated left, right and centre. Like, the things I can tell you about him is just so funny. And he married my best friend in the end. But then, do you know, when you think back, you think, well, if I never got with him, they would have had her. Do you get what I mean? If you step back. But then
I'm really confused. I'm a little bit confused, to be honest, as well.
how can I put it? Like, oh my God. We went to Sunday school, we had groups, in my days, I was born in the 80s, like old days, we went to Sunday school, we went to Fair Play House, we went to, oh my God, we've done everything with the support workers that we had in our area. And my best friend and their dad, and there was a lot of us. Beanie's still on it. But we had so many of us, right? And we had so much fun. But if, like, in them days, you don't think when you're with someone, you're in love with them, and they're moving your mum's house, they're there all the way to 21. Do you know what I mean? My daughter's now 25, and he married Michelle, which was my best friend, and he's my best friend. It's weird because people go, oh my God, but no, my daughter gets married in 3 weeks' time, and I love Michelle because there is no one better to be her stepmom. And the partner I got with is the best dad you would ever wish for. Do you get what I'm saying? So
You've been in a TV relationship, though.
a little bit of both, not more mentally, emotionally. Mine's more, don't go out, don't do this, can't wear that.
That's still DV though. Still DV.
Yeah. Yeah. So are you a traveller?
A bit of both, and yes and no. It's
Right.
hard because I left that because I wanted the normal life. It's hard. Angie, our message, like, it's hard.
Okay, I understand that, yeah. Oh, let me go and speak to Nick and then you can...
Yeah, can I move, please?
Yeah, that's fine. Hi, Nick. Is Nick here? Oh, sorry, invited you by mistake. Sorry, I was meant to accept this person here. Yeah.
And if there's words in the box, just kick me, you know. Go on.
Hello, Marie.
2 seconds.
The person is in the box.
No.
Mute her. Can't even mute her.
Right, can you hear me?
Yes, hello.
Yeah. Right, this is the first time I'm in the box, but I'm a little bit on a different side to everyone else. I lost my children due to DV 20 years ago. And when you said it's my fault, I lost them, I got angry. But it's not because you said that, and I totally get what you said, but it's because I felt that leaving him gave me no option, because he said I'll never get with anyone. He would find me, hunt me down. But I'm not going to stay on long because obviously I get upset. But you can look on my profile. After 20, so my children were 6 months, 1.5 and 2.5 years old when I lost them.
Right.
And I've just been in contact with my 20-year-old. You know, so I've been meeting up with my 20-year-old I met her yesterday as well. But I feel that back then we had no support. Say that again.
Would you mind telling the story, if you don't mind, just what happened?
So I met him young. I was 19, had my first child with him. And while I was pregnant, he started beating me up. When I was 8 months pregnant with our son, he threw me down concrete stairs, broke my leg with steel cap toes. But it was a weekly thing, physical weekly thing, and mentally daily. But I do not agree that social should take children. They should have supported me.
Yeah.
But, you know, my inbox is open to anyone that needs to speak to me about it. And I'm honest. I've been honest with everybody.
What I mean, Marie, is, you know, social services should remove kids from TV homes, whether it's, you know, to put yourself in a safe home with your children or to remove them from that environment.
That's 100%. So they did remove me and my children and they put me at my mum's home. But unfortunately, he knew where she lived. Right. He smashed my mum's front room window, poured boiling hot coffee over my son.
What a stupid area for a place to put you. I mean,
exactly. It's quite a complex thing. But every time I left and every time I got somewhere in theory safe, he would find me. And I'm talking 20 years ago this was now, and he still tries to get to me. And having contact with my daughter again after 20 years is amazing. But like I said to her, I have to be really careful, because if he finds out I'm in contact with you, because I've got other children now, I've got a younger one, I've got a 5 and 6 year old. If he found out I was in contact with you, I'm putting my children at risk.
Right.
So if I signed
house now, then, Marie.
Say that again.
Like a safe house.
No. I'm in my own home. I'm remarried 10 years. Yeah. I'm happy, and you know what? He wouldn't lay a finger on me. He wouldn't dare, because I'd probably flatten him before he flattened me. Because it's made me stronger. But back then, mentally, he got so ingrained in my brain and said, nobody would want you, you're a rubbish mum. He controlled my money, he controlled my mental health, he controlled medication, he controlled absolutely every aspect of my life.
If you don't mind. So social services removed your kids from your mum's house. Couldn't they
Yeah.
put them somewhere else?
Well, they put me in a refuge, but back in them days, they put you in the same town refuge. So he just hunted me down. If he couldn't find me, he got people to find me, and I couldn't leave the refuge. I couldn't go to the shop to get milk, baby milk, or anything, because I'd have to still go back to the same doctor's surgery. And then he'd just every time I moved, he'd find me.
Can I just also say that, Marie, because you said that I blame you. I don't blame you. I'm talking about women that choose to stay with their partners, like I do.
But I chose to stay with him. Not because he filled my head with so much crap that I felt like if I left him, I'd be nobody. And part of me, you know, because I now suffer with non-epileptic seizures due to complex PTSD, and that's down to him. And I will live with that for the rest of my life. And I have seizures a daily basis. And you know what? My husband now, I've been married 10 years. He goes to all my mental health appointments. He goes to all my medical appointments, and he's always there for me.
Right.
But it's just weird seeing my daughter after 20 years. I met her first last month, and I saw her again yesterday, because obviously you see him in her. And it sort of brings back the trauma, and because it's so quick, you're talking about domestic violence, it sort of got me a bit sworn, and I was like, but I'm not blaming you. Obviously, I understand what you're saying, and if I could go back to when I was 19...
Yeah, but Marie, your situation is very different to when you think about a woman like, I don't want to say, but like Remy on here, you know, that wants to stay with a man that isn't, I love him. Did you get what I'm saying?
When she needs her kids removed because she's not thinking about her kids.
You get what I'm saying? I'm not leaving have that fear to leave.
Could that be coercive control though? Because it's only recognised now, but you know, we don't know exactly how she's feeling. We don't know what he's shoved into her brain. And like Marie said, and it's never your fault.
With Remy, no,
I just say that it's not your fault. It's never your fault.
Remy's been warned about this well before she even met them in person, probably before she even got in his life. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, because there weren't back then days. There was no Sarah's law or Claire's law. There was nothing. I did, and I was really spiteful for doing this. I did contact his last current partner and warned her, showed her the police evidence and everything. Please be wary, this guy is violent. She went on to have a baby with him, and as soon as the baby was born, he was violent towards her. She messaged me on New Year's Eve, it'll be 7 years this year, and said, I'm so sorry I didn't believe you. I sent this guy to prison.
Can I ask you
Marie, that's not you being spiteful, you were just looking out for her.
Yeah, exactly. Can I ask you a question? You know, you said you stayed with him. Is that out of fear?
Out of fear, he stopped me seeing my friends, my family. I had nowhere to go because obviously he broke my family relationship up. We're stronger than ever now, but then it was just hard. It was hard to leave, and I'm with any woman or man that is finding it really hard to leave right now, especially if they got children, because you think that even if you left, he would still get to see your kids.
I understand why social services remove the children, though, if they, you know, if there's no other option.
100%, and I never ever, and they've had the best life. Like I said, one was 6 months, one was 1.5, and one was 2.5 years old. Even though obviously I'm speaking to my daughter at the moment, I said to her, "Do you remember any of the things?" She says no, but I don't know. I remember things from my past because I was mistreated. I remember it. So I'm just wondering if she's trying to keep me like, you didn't hurt me. Well, you didn't, you know, I didn't hear it, so I can't feel any pain for it.
Yeah.
Can I ask Marie a question, Marie, if you don't mind us asking, like, what's your daughter's, like, outlook on it, like with her being sort of taken away from you, like?
Yeah. So when we first met, she didn't want to know. She didn't want to know about what the reasons were, and she didn't tell the adoptive parents about our meeting. And I was a little bit uneasy about that. And I said to her, "You need to tell them." So she told them, and they were like, "Don't see her. She did damage you, etc., etc." But they gave her court papers from the adoption, and she sent me such a heartfelt message. I was asleep, saying, "I am so sorry he did this to you. I feel like I'm grieving for you." And I said, "Look, darling, you knew nothing about it." I have encouraged her to get her adoptive records, because obviously I could sit here and say I didn't do anything wrong, which I know I didn't, but I could be filling her head with absolutely anything I want to, and her believe me. So I said, "Look, get your adoptive records, and then we will talk about anything you think I done wrong in the whole thing." So.
Wow, and did you say you've seen your kid?
I've seen my daughter. I've seen her twice now, and my younger son wants to meet up with me in December.
When they were moved, because you not see them?
No. So when they were removed, I was allowed what they call letterbox contact. So I was allowed one letter a year and photos, and they would get a letter from me, and I would explain what's going on in my house, like when I had children. But her dad was never allowed to have any contact, not by letterbox or anything.
So, can I say...
Does he have contact with them now?
I'm allowed to have contact with them now. So my son is 20 tomorrow, my daughter is 21, and my other son is 22.
Yeah, but can I ask you something? I find it odd, but I'm not just believing, drinking and understand, don't get me wrong, but you weren't allowed to see your kids when they removed your kids?
No. So for their because when they're adopted, you're not allowed to see them. But you're
adoption.
Yeah, they're fully adopted.
Yeah.
But they all went with the same family.
How were they adopted? Was that obviously you'd have to agree to that?
Yeah, so they gave me two choices. I would have to, bearing in mind I'm only 21, 22 years old, I would have to have no contact with family, so my sisters, my brothers, and so I had an older daughter, she's now 22 at the time. She went to live with her dad, why everything was really quite aggressive. I wouldn't ever be allowed to see my daughter, Abigail. I wouldn't be able to have family contact and stuff like that. And move and change my identity, or get my kids adopted.
Can you go to the first
call from us and they told me I have to ring you?
Sorry. Couldn't you go with the first option? Then
I could, but mentally he had
Saying
to
on it, the
hold
water
me.
pressure's too low. She said that's nothing to do with
Guys, I don't think there'll be notices in the box. One sec. So can you repeat that?
Yeah, so I guess I could have gone with the first option, but I was 22 years old. I had another child that they would have told me I wasn't allowed to see her ever again. He had completely mentally and physically destroyed me. I had no confidence at all, and at the time I said to them, take them, get them looked after, because if I kept them and he found out I had, he would then I would be risking them and myself again.
I'm still a bit lost.
What have you lost?
That doesn't make sense to me, Marie. I can't lie.
Right, so they gave me two options. One, to change my identity, never have contact with my mum, my dad, my siblings, and my eldest daughter, who is not his.
Right, yeah.
Or have my children adopted. At the time, because there's three of them, one of them had kidney problems. They said that they can get two adopted with one family and the younger one adopted with another. I said, well, I'm not doing that. I said, take me to court. They did come back to me.
Adopted, do you know what I mean? That's not right. I don't understand. The thing I don't understand is why they had to be adopted. That's quite.
Why should they? Because if they were with me, I was at risk. Every time I had the social gave them,
Yeah.
they would he would come for me.
Years ago, I suppose. Yeah. Right.
But even with a lifetime restraining order, we are now 20 years down the line, and he still tries to contact me.
Yeah, it was 20 years ago as well, wasn't it? That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
They wouldn't do anything
Marie,
like
does he speak to you?
Say that again, Linz.
Oh, Andrew was talking.
No, you
Okay.
can't. It's all right,
I was
Lindsay.
just going to say, Marie, is he in contact with any of your kids? Like,
No. And they want nothing to do with him.
Thank you.
You can kick me now so someone else can come up, but I just thought...
I'm going to drop now as well, and thank you for letting me have my say.
Story, Marie. Thank you, Albie.
Thanks for sharing, guys.
That's okay.
That's crazy, that is. Wow. Is anybody else in that box? There is actually.
it's just with social services as well, and it's like it depends on the social worker what you get. Like I went through a couple of social workers before I even, do you know, because I was complaining about them because they were treating me as if I was the perpetrator, like as if it was all my fault. So obviously we put complaints and we got this like nice one. But you know the worst thing is, right, because he had bail conditions not to like speak to me or contact me, and then obviously I had to like obviously stop him having contact with my son. So when the social worker was there, I was like, can you tell him that he's not allowed to like see his son, because if it's coming from me, then he's just thinking that I'm just playing games. And then the social worker was like, well, can you not just tell him? And I was like, well, do you not think that's putting me more at risk? Me telling him that he can't see his child? Like, he's obviously going to get angry. So then he was like, well, what reaction do you think he's going to like be like if you tell him that? And I was like, well, I don't know. So this social worker had to get a police escort to like go to the house to tell him that he wasn't allowed to see his son. It was
Yeah,
crazy.
you know what I mean? That's, you know, when he gets out.
Yeah, well,
Do you get worried for when he gets out?
yeah, but it's going to be in a long time anyway, so I'll
Yeah.
text you.
Didn't he get life? Oh, text me. Yeah, any men, if they would like to come up and, you know, because men go through DV as well. And it's not as common as in men, is it? You know, but they definitely go through it as well. And I think it's harder for men, you know, to speak up about it. Ask Zach. And you know what? A man wouldn't, you know, a decent man will never hit a woman, right? And a lot of men that have been in a DV, they probably get that question, well, why didn't you hit back? Why didn't you control? You're a man. Do you get what I'm saying? And that's not how
The thing is, with men, they feel emasculated. That's why. If that makes sense. That's why a lot of them don't speak out. You know, it's only through awareness now that we know it does happen, because they do feel emasculated because they're the man.
Yeah. Well, guys, what do you think about social services today? Has anyone had any bad experiences or good experiences with social services? Because I always stand by what I say. They don't remove your kids for no reason. And I've had this debate before, you know, and I've had a few people come into my box to say that their children have been removed, and
yeah,
they've got an excuse for that, you know. And I've always said, I don't care what you say, they just don't knock on your door and just say, I want to remove the children. There's a reason for it.
I've had a good experience with social services. So I've had a good experience with them. I wouldn't be here today if I didn't have them. Because like we're just talking about the male, like my home, I had the house, I had the money before I met my partner. I already had a daughter. So he took her on, and then I had 3 children by him. But the house, the money was all mine. He wanted to marry me.
I just don't get the numbers. Yeah.
And getting married, he gets off of everything, but he done something really bad before that. And I'm not going to marry like my dad brought me up to be. Like you can, like now, I'm sitting on the floor right now and I'm laying carpet. Do you know what I mean? Like, you don't need a man to do that. So I'm totally different from other people. I don't know how to put this. I had it all before I met him. I had 3 kids before I met him. If he wants to leave me and be the way he's going to be and not seeing what I'm going through right now, it's good. But a year ago, I went out to my local... sorry, it's going to be hard. I went to my local pub and got grapes outside it. And that's hard to live on your doorstep. in the world that we live in. But we get on, we move on. And it's hard. I'm not going to read the comments because they'll probably be nasty. But it doesn't matter how much you own your own house, how much you got, and how much you do. At the end of the day, everybody has some trauma or some hurt inside.
Yeah.
And like, I'm one of these where a man leaves, oh, the woman left him with nothing, but I'm the woman that left the man with nothing because I earned everything. He moved in with me having everything. So if you're going to do me wrong, you're going to leave with nothing.
Yeah.
I am not going to put you on my mortgage. You're not going to be put on my own home because this is what I...
Oh, Nancy, don't piss off.
I'm sorry, guys. If you're going to hate me, just message me, like...
Can I hear from Dibs? Because I'm a little bit lost here. I'm not going to lie, sweet. So if you want to message me afterwards, you know...
Yeah, I will. I'm gonna...
Let's get in the chat. Dibs, Jessie or Zara? I don't know. Oh, yeah, you're right.
Well, the way I look at it, right, with DV... Are you there?
Yeah.
Right. What I look at, the past is the past, right? But it's now. And what we suffer now.
Somebody asking you, like, it was just a coincidence. Somebody said that they saw it was before you knew that.
I can't hear you,
Using my toothbrushes.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How would you just TV
situation where
The TV's really loud.
Yeah, I'm going to turn that off. 2 seconds. There we go, that's better. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah. I just wanted to pick up on what you said about social services not removing children unless it's absolutely necessary. They actually do, Angie.
So, I'm just confused. Debs, were you talking before? I can't remember now.
Yeah, I was.
Oh,
yeah.
sorry, Deb, sorry.
Let me just hear. Sorry, I do apologise, Deb. I thought you were. So, do you want to carry on?
Right, from what I've gone through, I want to know how people feel now. After.
So, you're basically saying that people should leave it in the past because it's the past and this is the...
No. But I'm saying people should feel something after, and I do.
Can I just say something, Debs? It took me a long time with help and counselling to become the person that I should have been and that I was before. And there's always going to be trauma there, no matter what. But it goes in the Pandora's box. I've moved on. I'm happy now. I'm a stronger person now. And although I'm older, I'm back to the person that had the confidence and I don't take no crap anymore. Do you know what I mean? But it takes a long time with counselling and help to even be able to move on.
Exactly. Was there anything you wanted to add, Debs?
No.
Hi, sorry, Lisa. You okay?
Yeah, I'm sorry. It's the first time I've ever been in a box, Angie. I didn't realise that I was over talking. No, I just wanted to say, obviously, like I've seen the comments and people say that social services don't remove children from nothing. I was a child who was put into care because my dad used to abuse me. Because I was under social services and I was a vulnerable child, I got pregnant at 16 and I also started a relationship with a young lad the same age as me who was extremely violent. Now, I had a lovely social worker. She was really supportive. I moved into my own property when I was 16. I was doing really well. I was a damn good mum. I then fell pregnant pretty much straight away. So I had 2 children by the age of my son was born 2 days after my 18th birthday. I was in a really bad domestic violence situation. It was a regular thing. Police was called quite a lot. I was moved multiple times for my own safety. He found me. I'm originally from Scotland. I live in Birmingham now. I was moved from Scotland at the age, well, it was a millennium time. I'm 43 now.
I ended up going back because I didn't have family. I was on my own. I was a young girl on my own with no support.
You had a choice to go back then, yeah?
I did at that point, yes. I was 19 and I was extremely vulnerable. I only realised this now as an adult. I went back. He then attacked me so bad that he got charged with attempted murder, kidnap and abduction. The kidnap and abduction was on my children. I was moved from all different areas to different women's aids. I never took the man back after that. I tried to be civil to where he was still there, the dad, so that he could still see his children. And that didn't work because what he started doing was finding out where I was, following me around. I was made by social services to sign like a piece of paper to sign his rights away so that he couldn't see the children. I still had the children. Then my dad died. The same week my dad died, I had a children's panel, and I was so worn down that I lost my children that week. I'd never done nothing wrong to my children, ever. I have all court paperwork to state, even from the people who work under the courts, that my house was immaculate and my children were safe. But because I was in such a vulnerable place, it was better for the children.
Yeah, but you said they removed your children for no reason, but there wasn't.
Yeah, but let me finish though. Yeah, this has gone back 20 years ago, so that's what was going on at the time. I was moved to London for my own safety away from this man. This was even after the children's panel. When I moved to Birmingham, I've now got 4 other children. They're grown up now. I had dealings with social services about 9 years ago because someone falsely accused me of doing something. When the social workers in England had looked at my case, obviously because I have to look at the historical cases when they're investigating families, and they come back and said there was no reason for my children to be removed. From the day my children were removed, they were already adopted within 5 months. It was a forced adoption.
But you were vulnerable, right? When you said you were vulnerable and worn down, in what way? Was you suffering with your mental health or?
Yeah, in a way, but I wasn't offered, like when other women have said they were offered to go to, like nowadays they've got mother and baby units, things like that. I was never offered nothing like that, Angie. There was no other option.
But when you said you went back to him, do you have children at the time? You had your kids, right, when you went back to him, no?
Yeah, I was 17 and 18.
Yeah, it was. From what I've just heard now, Lisa, your children should 100% be removed. And that's
but why should they?
Let's just hear in 5 minutes of what you've had to say. Because you
cannot adopt children within 5 months of removal, Angie, without giving a parent a chance, especially a child who's still under social services herself.
You never protected your children. You went back to an abuser. You didn't have to do that. You went back. You went back. You never protected your children.
But I did protect my children.
Lisa, but you said that they moved you from Scotland down to London, and then you chose to go back to him, and he beat you up, like when you had the children there. So that's essentially put them at risk.
I had no other option to get back to Scotland or Lindsay without bringing up other personal information with my family. I had to go back to Scotland. I actually had to go back into the property that I was living in Scotland because when I was younger, I was abandoned by my mum when I was 2. I was just left outside the shop and I was found and took into my dad later on in the day. When I was moved down to London, I was moved down with the pretensions that my mum was going to look after me. My mum took me in. Within 24 hours of me being in my mum kicked me and my 2 children out. Now, my 2 children there's only 11 months between my 2 children, so I was 18 with 2 babies. I was moved out of Scotland for my own safety with my children, and my mum put me on the streets of Bracknell.
Can I just say, Lisa, from what you've said to me, right? So you've been with the guy that abused you in a really, really bad way, right? You left him. You chose to go back with him. You didn't need to, but you did with your children. Then you went back, and then you moved your mum. Your mum kicked you out. Then you were very vulnerable in regards to your mental health. There's quite a lot of stuff going on in your life. Do you know what I mean? With this,
Yeah, I was a child.
With your mum, then your mental health. So it seems to me, and I'm not even a I don't work for social services, that your kids should have been removed with everything you've been saying. Do you get what I'm saying? Can I ask you another question though, Lisa? Someone's saying you were in an article, Take a Break. Is that true?
Me, no.
Yeah.
No, not at all.
I'm not going to be sitting here horrible to you. Do you know what I mean? It's sad that you've got your kids removed. It really is. But I'm just saying from what you've said, you did choose to go back to him. This is my point. And people are having a go at me today saying, oh, my God, I'm disgusting. I don't know nothing about DV. But I do. I'm talking about women that choose to go back to their partner's abuse.
I wasn't a woman. I was a child, Angie.
Yeah,
I was a child. You have to remember, I was in care for being abused by a grown man. I was still under the children's services. I didn't know right from wrong.
But
it took me a long time.
Yeah, but then you suffered with your mental health. So I do it.
No, I didn't suffer with mental health. I was abused. I still don't say I suffered with mental health.
Then you said you were very vulnerable, very run down. Do you know what I mean? And regarding your mental health, I just asked you, said yes. So I do understand why they decided to take your kids. You know what I mean? There's a lot of stuff going on in your life. Do you get what I'm saying? And what you've gone through. And don't get me wrong, that's awful. You've gone through that. Do you know what I mean? But you did choose to go back. With your children. I don't understand why you did that, Lisa. And I can't sit here and have that sympathy. I'm sorry.
I can't say why I went back either, Angie. I was young, I was vulnerable, and I was stupid.
Angie, you've got to remember there's certain things that people can't actually divulge the information on.
But I know you're saying confused, but we've got to look at the kids here. Do you know what I mean? The poor kids that have been adopted. Do you know what I mean?
Can I just say, I understand, Lisa, you were young, you were in vulnerable state, blah, blah, blah.
I'm so horny.
Oh, can you go away? Can we get rid of Lloyd, please? Sorry, I'll do it.
I'll do it. The thing is, I understand you were young and stuff, and you ended up going back, but essentially, that's not the kids' fault. You're still exposing them to that, regardless of your age or your mental health. So do you not think it was a good thing that social did remove them out of that situation?
Out of the situation at the time, yes, definitely 100%. But where was the chance for me to try and get better, get away from them and make a life with my children? That's what I'm talking about. And that's what I'm saying. I wasn't given that chance. My children were adopted within 5 months. By law, they cannot do that. It's not allowed.
Well, Lisa, I think they probably looked at the fact that you did go back. You get what I'm saying? They probably looked at you, you had a choice.
No, it was my own background that they held against me. They held the fact that I was under social services.
Lisa, I'm on the other side of the coin. I've removed my granddaughter from my daughter's care. And the reason being, and I think a lot of people will agree with me here, when the social services are getting involved, social services a lot of the time are proactive and not reactive. The reason they've probably removed your children is for their own safety, because I know that you were young at the time. You're saying that you had 2 kids, but then you moved to Birmingham and then you went back to him. You were in Birmingham for a long time and then you went back to him. The social worker are being proactive, as I say, instead of reactive, because if anything was to happen to the children, then obviously they've got to get safeguarded. So the reason that I have taken my granddaughter again is because my daughter's life is in turmoil. And I've been proactive in that case as well, because I don't want anything to happen to my granddaughter. So that's probably the reasons why.
But see, I hadn't been away, and it was London I was moved to, and I hadn't been away long. I was only down here for a few weeks.
Why were you kicked out from your mum's house? What was it? If you don't mind saying, what was the issue there?
Honestly, well, my mum, as I told you, my mum abandoned me when I was 2. She didn't get in contact with me until I was 15. I was already in children's homes. So the contact between my mum from the age of 15 until this happened was she would come to the children's home once a month. Social services paid for her to travel. There wasn't actually a proper mum and daughter bond. But what happened that day was I was cleaning my mum's house, and my mum owned a pub, and she'd called me, and while I was on the phone call to my mum, I'd put the Hoover down. It was a Henry Hoover. My daughter had picked up the Henry Hoover and dropped it too close to the gas fire. There was a fire guard there, but the heat off the fire burnt the Hoover. That's what I get kicked out for, Angie.
Right.
So pathetic. It's not even an excuse. But because my mum has another son, and the sun shines out of his ass, he can't do no wrong. But because she didn't have that maternal bond with me, it was quite easy for her to kick me out. I was homeless in December in London, in places I'd never been before, with 2 babies.
Your babies? You were homeless with your babies?
Yeah, she kicked me out in the street with the babies.
Yeah.
And so I had to take myself to social services in Brighton. I didn't know where to go. I had no money, no clothes.
Yeah.
She didn't even let me get my children's pushchair. And they were both babies. So they moved me into, I can't remember, it was by an airport in London. There was an airport out the back of it. And I was the only white British person in there that spoke, well, Scottish English. I was there for 24 hours, and then they moved me to, it was a place in Slough. It's like a little house thing with other families.
I'm not far from this.
A lovely little place. But I felt so isolated and so lonely. Like me and my kids, we just had this little room. That's all we had. I didn't know, sorry, yeah, British, I didn't know what to say. We was just in this little room, and I just felt like I had to go back home because I didn't know nobody.
You know what, Lisa, can you see though, about, you know, from the social services point of view, right? You know, you were home, you know, you was in an abusive relationship, you went back there. I'm just saying, seeing it from their point of view. You know, you went back to an abuser, you know, then you were kicked out, then you were homeless with your babies, then your mental health, you know, suffered. Do you get what I'm saying? So there's quite a few things there. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I get that, Angie, but that's not the point I'm making. The point I'm making is they took my children without even giving me the chance.
Good to help you, yeah.
Yeah.
Because your mental health, they eventually took your kids, was it?
No, not my mental health.
What was it? The reason?
They never actually gave a reason. It goes down at, when children are removed for social. I mean, I don't know about now. I can only go back on the 90s, you know, the millennium time. I can't comment on now. Things change, but back then it was like physical. Was it physical neglect, emotional neglect, something like that? And that's what they put on my paperwork. Now, my eldest daughter is 27, and my daughter, my 4 children that live with me now, my oldest one out of them is 22. When I had my daughter, myself, my partner, my daughter, we drove up to Scotland. I went to see my social worker, and the first thing she says to me is, "Why didn't you fight me?" I couldn't fight her because I was so broken.
So when she said that, so you allowed them to take your kids. You know, we can ask you something. You know, when they were adopted, did you have to agree? Did you have to agree with the adoption?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I actually got to meet the parents as well. The parents were lovely.
Lisa, you know, I can understand your mental health. You were broken. I get that, and I think I suppose most parents would have fought for their kids, right? And not signed, you know, anything, sign their babies over. But I think she is right. What you said, you did sign your babies over for adoption, and she was probably thinking,
No. I didn't sign them over for adoption, Angie. That's incorrect. I had to go to court. And
I say, okay, you went to court, so you did fight them.
See, the problem is because I was still a child, and I was a child having children, I was still under social services myself. That's why the social work wasn't involved because of what was going on with my children. The social work were there because I was a child in care when I got pregnant, so it continued on with me. And like the social worker that actually removed my children, I had only had this social worker for a short period of time. Now, all my previous social workers up to this lady at the end never had a problem. I have got court paperwork that I could happily send you. That's got from the guardianships from the court where there was no concerns regarding my parenting, nothing at all. If there was any concerns with my parenting, I wouldn't be allowed to have my children now.
Yeah, but there was a concern, Lisa. I'm not going against him, but there was concern. They put it down to emotional neglect.
Because not just because of me though. It wasn't just because of the dad as well. It was a joint case. When we went to court, it wasn't me just standing in court. It was the two of us together. So it was based on the whole thing.
We weren't seeing him. He was nothing.
No, not at that time. No.
Lisa,
And that's
can I
what
ask?
Yeah,
Lisa,
go on.
can I ask? See the person that you were fleeing for, is that the kids' dad? Yeah.
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
but you went back to him and you're blaming him as well. It
No,
seems
but
to
no,
be-
I'm not blaming him. No.
Well, you're saying it was his fault. You're saying it was his fault as well. You went to court together. That's what you're saying. It seems to be that you were leading a very hectic lifestyle, and this is the reason why your children were removed from you. See, at this point, I've heard every one of these excuses for my own daughter. It's not about me, but I've heard every one of the excuses. It's a horrible thing to say to you, Lisa, but you were living a hectic lifestyle, and the children needed to be safeguarded.
And I agree with that. I haven't disputed that. That's not what I'm saying. Is what I'm talking about is the fact that they never gave me the chance to put things right. None of the children were adopted within 5 months.
But Lisa, do you know when they? Sorry,
Go on.
do you know like when they moved it down to London and stuff? Do you not think that was them giving you them said chances by saying don't be in contact with the father and stuff? Do you not think that was the chances, and then you sort of blew all of your chances, and that's why they were so quick in taking them off you?
No, because they never moved me down to London. I was moved from one woman's aid to another woman's aid.
I'm really
That's what it
confused
was.
because you said you did say you didn't fight the system because the social services said to you, "Why don't you fight us?" You know, and you said because you're mentally drained and everything else. But now you're saying there's a court case. I'm a little bit confused.
The court case was before. The court case was before, Angie. That was quite about. It was a good few months before that because I was still sick. We had to go to court, and I'll be honest with you, it was a very long time ago, and I've had to shut it off, so I can't remember the ins and out of the court bit. But I was allowed to see my children. I still had contact with my children. The dad wasn't allowed none at all.
So Lisa, how did he go to court to try and even fight for them when he wasn't allowed contact with them? Like, you know, like in the adoption court case, I
don't think it was an adoption court. I'd need to go back through the paperwork because obviously it's a part that I shut out for such a long time.
Yeah.
But
I can say that you know, social services, you know, there's sometimes no reason why they remove your children, but I feel in your case there was very much a reason they moved children.
To remove them temporarily, yes. To adopt them, no. And I've had that from other social services that have said to me it's classed as a forced adoption. That adoption was already, they were already planning it. These parents were already lined up, Angie, before we even had the final children's panel. It was going to happen either way.
Do you know when they were like moving you, like when you said, oh, they were moving us to like different refuges and X, Y, and Z? Like, I think that was like your chances from social because they basically say to you, like, you need to stay away from him, don't go back to him, blah, blah, blah. And I think you sort of ran up your chances. That's why they like I said, they took them away. Do you know what I mean?
When I moved to London, that was 2 years before my children were removed, Lindsay. It wasn't like an all quick thing.
Oh yeah, I'm not just going on about London. I'm just saying, like, you know, you said that you were moved to like different women refuges and stuff. Like, obviously, social would have been involved in facilitating that, but I think that's what your chances were because they moved you out of the way of him and they've told you not to contact them. But do you know, I don't know. I think.
Question, Lisa. Now that your kids are adopted, you know, I suppose they're older now. Do you see them?
I'm in contact with them. They've got a good, like, as much as it's shit, they have had a better life because the dad was a heavy drug user. So him...
Oh, Lisa, it gets worse.
No, this is like, when I've left, I'm long gone, this man's in and out of prison, all sorts. The children are better off where they are.
Yeah.
And it's took me the best part of 20. I mean, I've had to live for 22 years.
Well, they still, I know that's a long time ago, Lisa, but does anyone have experience with the social services where they adopt your kids? Because do they just foster, does that still happen where they've like, you know,
They normally foster them out for a bit, Ange, and then obviously if you're not working with them, then they'll do adoption.
No,
without your consent, obviously, in most cases. That would be very hard, isn't it, adopting your kids? Because once you're adopted, can you see your kids at any time when they get adopted?
No.
Did they foster them out first, Lisa, or was it just
no? Mine didn't go into foster care. What happened was
Not for the woman. I was just saying that the story's getting worse. You know, the man on drugs. Oh, for God's sake! Yeah, carry on, Lisa.
My children, they had a childminder, and the lady was amazing. She was like a mum that I didn't have, and a nan for the children. The children were living with her for about, I think it was about 8 weeks, and it was while they were living with her, my dad had passed away. So like on the Monday, my dad had passed away. On the Thursday, we had the children's panel. But I was all over the place that week, and then I just didn't have it in me to argue with them at the children's panel, and that's when they were signed off for the adoption.
So they didn't even get fostered?
No.
What's your relationship with them now? Like, do they have like some resentment, or like are they happy? Like,
no.
what's it like?
Well, my daughter I had to wait till my daughter's the oldest. When she turned 18, obviously settled her down on Facebook, sent her a message.
So someone's saying, Lisa, tell the truth. Are you telling us the truth? I mean, you just...
Of course I'm telling you the truth.
No, carry on then.
I contacted her when she was 18. She didn't get in contact with me straight away. It was probably about 4 weeks after her 18th birthday. We spoke a few times through Messenger. That's pretty much what it's been. I don't have much contact with her, but my other children are in contact with her through Instagram. I don't have any contact with my son at all.
Right. That must be very hard.
It has
Did you try and reach out to your son and has he just totally ignored? Oh, right, okay.
Yeah. But I respect their decision because I don't blame the dad. I was in the wrong as well. I shouldn't have kept going back. I shouldn't have stayed there. I put myself in the situation.
Yeah.
I've punished myself for that for 20 years. And I've made sure that the children that I've got now, I've raised them properly. I've raised them damn well good to the point where my daughter went to university to be a social worker.
That's good.
Yeah, that's amazing.
But but there is a thing of forced adoption. It does happen. And some parents, the children are taken for the right reasons at the beginning, but they don't give the parents the chance. Some get the chance, some don't. And I was one of them children that didn't get the chance. I was failed by the system many, many times.
So I understand completely what you're saying. I think social services should be more supportive, more helpful. But in this situation, I think so much has happened, and your hectic lifestyle, like Paula was said. I think they have been I don't believe in adoption. I don't believe in that. I think they were removed for a reason. I do believe that from what you've said. But the adoption bit, I don't believe. I think the child should be put into foster care.
Yeah. I think parents should be given a chance because I lost my children the 29th of November 2022. My daughter was born on the 4th of July 2004. No, fucking hell dates. 2002, my dad passed away. So I lost my children the 29th of November 2002, and I had my daughter on the 4th of July 2004. So if I was such a bad mum, why was I allowed to raise my children, my other 4 children? 3 have additional needs as well, might I add. But I was a bad mum for the other 2. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
I totally
If they would have given me a bit of a chance, all I needed was someone to pick me up and put me in the right path.
What did you do to London? Wasn't that the chance there?
No, because they never moved me. I was moved to my mum's, not by social services. I had been moved from one women's aid to another women's aid. Because the women's aid that I was in was in the town centre that I lived, so it wasn't safe for me to be there. So my mum was like, she can come down to mine, and that's how I ended up in London.
Yeah.
If she never offered, I wouldn't have been down there. I'd have just have been moved somewhere else in Scotland. But I take full responsibility for it. But I do believe, and I hope things have changed now, that they do help parents and they do try and put them in the right path, not just for the parents, for the children. Because
I think, Lisa, sorry, I think that's your main point here is you're holding your hands up and you're saying, look, my life was in crisis at the time and they did the right thing. But the thing that they did wrong was obviously the forced adoption. You had wished that they had kept, obviously, the kids in foster care and worked with you.
Yeah.
And I'm really sorry that happened to you. And I totally understand, obviously, as a mother myself, I totally understand it, how you're feeling. And yeah, you have got a point. Forced adoption shouldn't be happening. They should give mothers a chance like yourself.
And Lisa, you had no contact with him, no contact?
No. Do you know, Angie, I've had no contact with that man until he contacted me about 3 years ago. I didn't even go back home. I had uncles and grandparents that passed away and I didn't even go back home, so I was too scared in case I bumped into him. He actually contacted me 3 years ago out of the blue through Facebook to apologise for everything that he put me through. From what I've heard since, he was gone through something where I think it's some sort of course where they have to take responsibility from what they've done to people, something like that. So, but for him to change, he had to reach out and apologise to me and apologise for all his wrongdoings. But it was too late.
Yeah.
But I don't just blame him. I was in the wrong just as much as him. We were both in the wrong.
Yeah. Well, at the end of the day, it's 20 years, you said, you know what I mean? You put your hands up and said, listen, I wasn't, I've done, things I shouldn't have done, or you know what I mean? And maybe handled things differently. But I know what you're saying, that you wish you had more support from social services. And I don't understand the adoption, why they'll even do that, to be honest. I don't agree with that at all.
I mean, adoption's there for a reason.
Back on your feet, isn't it?
Yeah, adoption is there for a reason, and it is to protect children. And I agree with adoption in the right reasons.
Oh, it depends, I suppose. I think, 100% it depends on the circumstances. But they could have given maybe a chance to get on your feet.
Yeah, because what it's caused is a divide between my children.
I think
if you want to follow me, I can send you a link to somebody that this is very close to their heart to do with social services, etc. So if you want support through that, just contact me because I can send you the link.
Thank you very much.
It's maybe box. I don't know if she knows she's in here.
Sorry, Angie. I think where the confusion was when you first came into the box, you said that you had went through a DV situation, and the social work removed them for no reason. But now, you've explained, and thank you very much for sharing your story, honestly. But I wish you all the very best in the future, Lisa. I really do. But I just wanted to say that obviously this at the time the social worker have been proactive, not reactive, as I said. But I do understand that with the adoption thing and the fostering thing, and I think that's where they failed you at the time. They were doing what was right for the kids.
Yeah, Lisa, how are you getting on now? Like, are you in a much better situation, or?
Yeah, I have my days. I ain't gonna lie, I do have my days. I just feel more shitty that my kids don't have the bond that they should have. But I'm happy that where my children went, I do believe they went to the right place. They've grown up. They've had way more opportunities than I could ever have given them.
Exactly.
But as a mum, it still hurts because they were my children, and I would have loved to have been given the chance to be their mum the same as I've been my other children's mum.
I don't think I'd see it that way, and I don't see it that way. I think a child always belongs with their biological mother. Do you know what I mean? Parent. But obviously, some things happen. That's not the way it's going to be at all times. Do you know what I mean? I don't understand. I used to watch them comment, but it was now where, you know, oh, they've had a better life, you know, than I'd ever give them. But I am a person that child always belongs with their biological mother.
Depends on the biological mother, though, Angie, because mine was a piece of shit.
You know, of course, if they can't look after their kids, that's very different. 100%.
Some people are just not meant to be mums, and some people are just put in really tough situations that they can't get out of.
Yeah, but I'm just saying it, from a kid's point of view, I'm sure they'd rather be with their mother, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they're happy where they are, and I've just got to. I'm thankful for that. They wasn't separated. They've grown up. They're happy, and they're both rising. They're thriving in life.
It's really brave of you, Lisa, for sharing that with us.
Yeah,
I just had this that when people say that kids get adopted for reasons, they don't always, and that was what my point was. I came across wrong at the beginning. I've never been in a life before. It's the first time I've ever done it.
I think they did get removed. I think I stand by that. I think they got removed for a reason, but I think they could give you a chance to get yourself back on your feet. Maybe they got foster care and they were so quick to adopt the children, I suppose. I mean, they could have given you time.
Yeah, and that's what I was trying to get across at the beginning.
No, well, there was a reason. There was a reason they were moved, but they could have given you time. That's the
Yeah, definitely.
But thank you very much for letting me in the box. I actually need to leave because I need to go and collect my child from school.
Yeah.
But no, thank you very much. If you could kick me out, please, Angie, because I don't know how to do it.
Yep, no.
I'll kick you. See you later.
Right, thank you. Bye. Bye.
If you need any help, I'll send you a link to somebody to do with social services that have gone through a lot of things that you've gone through.
Yeah. Does anyone else just jump on the box and have their say, guys? Anybody out? Hi, Tracy, are you there? Shellstar? No, we've still got that glitch. Oh, can I ask another question? Right, going off the subject of DV. What do people think about you've got a fella, you're broken up, or husband broken up, they're seeing someone new. How would you feel about a stepmom raising your kid? No, I say raising your kid, I mean part-time, for example, like if you've got shared custody, your husband or your boyfriend. How would you feel about that?
I would feel, Angie, if they were in a stable relationship and like the stepmom obviously loved me son or whatever, like took genuine care of me son, then I wouldn't give two shits.
Yeah, because I know a lot of people would mind, wouldn't they?
I also think it depends on how old you are and how mature you are. I think if I'd have been younger and that had have happened to my son.
I'm not going to lie. I don't have children. I can't really have an opinion, but I'm going to have an opinion anyway. If I had a child, okay, and now this is because I'm not in that situation, so I don't know. But if I don't think I would be happy with it. No, never. And I'll tell you why. Because there's so many stories in the newspapers, and I don't want to scare anyone that an ex has done that. That person, did you know what I mean? A stepmom or a stepfather has done this and that. You got to be careful you leave your children with. Do you know what I mean? Even in a daycare, you've got to be a bit wary. So I don't think I'd be happy about someone, even if I got to know them. I would not want my kid around anyone apart from family. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, I'd find it difficult. But
yeah, because of a jealousy thing or anything like that, it would be like, are they okay? We don't really know them that well. They're not family. They don't know my child. They could be anybody. They could do anything. What if he leaves her alone with the baby to go and get some milk and something goes wrong, something happens? How would I live with myself?
And how long has he known her before he's introducing him to your children?
Yeah, I think the length of time is important as well.
Yeah, and he's serious about her.
Yeah. Yeah, I would say only family, man. You leave your kids with. It's a really difficult one because, if you've got custody or if you've got your child for the weekend, of course you can have a relationship, but you probably wouldn't want your child around that person, especially if they're on their own with them.
No, they're like.
I probably wouldn't like them have them overnight or anything like that. Like, but maybe years down the line and stuff. Like, I wouldn't give a shit.
The trust thing in it, Linz.
If you have joint custody, you know, he might look after the kid for the weekend. So what if he has a girlfriend, you know?
True. No, I wouldn't be happy with that if it was just like sort of weekend thing and he had a new girlfriend. No, I wouldn't.
Yeah, because there was a video I saw, I wanted to play it. I put it now. I don't know if I've saved it. But she went to go and pick up a child and from her boyfriend, ex-boyfriend, and his girlfriend was carrying her child in her arms, and she got really upset about it. You know, put my child down, that's my baby. How, you know, you have no right to be around my child. And I thought that's quite a good debate to have, actually, if people would be happy from her point of view. That's her child and someone else's carrying. That's her child. I get it. She could be fucking anyone, man. Do you know what I mean?
You've also got to go on what your kids are telling you when they're coming home. You know, she's done this or she said this, or, you know, you've got to have a good listening and talking relationship with your children.
Can't trust anyone anymore, can you? Babysitters, the daycare home, you know, care places. I mean, I know that them you could probably trust, but things have happened.
Yeah, it's scary.
Bloody scary world. I know that if I had a kid, I wouldn't want anyone around my child, only the family.
But Angie, sometimes family can be the bad ones as well. You cannot trust no one.
Yeah. I would trust my family, you know what I mean?
And that's why it's social services.
Leaving the kid alone. Yeah, no, my family I would, yeah. Depends on your relationship with your family, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Can I just tell you about my story with social services, Angie?
Oh, sorry, I didn't know. Yeah, I didn't know. I thought you got the...
No, it's fine. Hello, pleased to meet you, by the way.
Yeah.
So social services really let me down. Basically, they let me be in a relationship with my abuser. I was 15 when I got with him, and he was 20. They knew the ages, and they also knew I was going through domestic abuse, and they paid for us to go on a holiday together. And that's when I was 15. I mean, I'm 45 now, so obviously social services was a lot different back then.
Vince, can you take over for 2 minutes, please?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, I won't be a minute.
Obviously, social services was a lot different back then. But
so what did they do? They sent you on holiday? Why did they do that?
They paid for us to, because my dad was basically disabled and I was his main carer, and they said that I needed a break, and they let me and my ex-partner at the time pay for us to go away for the weekend to Scarborough.
So did they know that you were only 15? Well, obviously they knew you were only 15, but did they know his age?
Yeah, they did, yeah. This is what I'm saying. They knew a lot. I was treated really badly by social services.
Was that where? What did your dad say about it? Like, I know you were his car and stuff, like, but.
My dad wasn't capable of stopping me. I mean, if he was and he could have done something. I mean, my dad, bless him, he was in a wheelchair. He stood up a few times to go and, you know, crack him one. But there was nothing he could do. Obviously, he was disabled.
Mm-hmm. So what happened? Did you end up having kids with him, or?
Yeah, I had a child with him. I've got a son with him, and the abuse continued. We finally split up. But I've just got that used to domestic violence. It's just been part of my life for so long. Well, since I was 15, so...
Sad, isn't it? Because like, it just becomes the norm and that's what you just expect.
Absolutely.
Have you done the freedom programme?
People in the comments that saying I'm lying. Okay, I'm lying then. That's your opinion, but I'm not lying. I mean, why would I get into a box and tell you this?
Sorry, Lindsay, I need to drop down. I've got a school run.
Can everybody be respectful with, you know, when people are telling their stories and all that, because it's not right with all the nasty comments that are going through. Can we just all be respectful, please?
Oh, Hannah, we can't box people while Angie's on pause. That wait until she comes back.
Exactly, Sarah. The social was a lot different 30 years ago. Absolutely, there was.
So was social involved with you when you had kids with your abuse, or?
No, because I was 18 when I had my son, so social had gone out the picture by then.
Oh, Did they not get involved? Like, did you report your partner, well, your ex, to the police and stuff?
No, I never. Well, I reported it once, and he actually went to court for. Well, he made a mess of my face, put it that way. And then at the last minute, I dropped the, the proceed. I wouldn't let it go on.
Charges.
I just pulled out. Yeah, charges. Sorry, I wouldn't let it go on because I love you. I'm sorry, you know.
That old chestnut and nut.
Yeah, exactly. But
Do
yeah,
your kids have a relationship with him still or not?
No, he's since passed away.
Oh, has it? Oh, God.
Yeah. He passed away 8 years ago, but when I finally grew up and left, I didn't go back. I never returned.
Did he try and get you back?
Then, sorry, I'm just answering the comment. You cannot drop DV charges. You could back then. They're taking domestic violence more serious. I'm talking years ago when it wasn't even, police didn't even come out. So, yes, you could drop them. You can
still, you can still drop them now because, well, this is going back about 8 years ago with me. I did drop the charges with my ex like once or twice, but then one time he put a bit beside my face and stuff, and I dropped out of court. But then they done like a victimless prosecution where they sent him to prison. So
yeah. I mean, there was obviously he got arrested. There was one night of violence, but back then, like I say, they didn't take DV as serious as they do now. There's all this Clare's Law that's come into place. The police are listening more to DV than I'm talking 20 years back. 25 years back even. They just didn't listen. They weren't bothered. It was Joe, another domestic, another couple arguing, and that's how they saw it.
Mm-hmm.
I know people are waiting, guys, but sometimes it's a bit of I think it could be a glitch also, guys, where people don't actually want the box. If you want the box, can you make a comment, please?
Yeah, Angie, somebody was spamming saying box on you on pause. What was the name again? I'll have to scroll up. They kept on asking, but I said you can't rise pit when you're on pause. Can someone tell us whose name it was? I think it's like oh, fuck knows. I can't even say the box.
Hannah something, okay.
Hannah. Oh, Hannah, you guys has just commented.
Are you here, Tracy? No.
I am, Ange. Can you hear me?
Hello.
Hello. I just wanted to jump in really with two situations. One of my, you was talking about if you'd leave them with your new partner and things. I had a close friend that had a son. He was only, I think he was 5. He did have some disabilities. He had issues with his brain. He had a lot of other issues. But he could walk and things. Anyway, they'd only been together for about 3 or 4 months. The partner went over to Asda, which is like literally the Asda is in front of the flat. So he walks over to Asda and leaves the child with his new partner. When he come out of Asda, he only went in for bread. He come out of Asda and the ambulance was there. And now the baby had fell off the sofa and had died, had a bleed on the brain. Instantly, obviously, the house was sealed off. She was arrested for attempted, M. And when they got to when they did all the testing and things, they found he actually had a bleed on the brain. So yeah, he didn't know anything about this girl. She had no other convictions or anything. There was nothing on her. But like I say, he was only 5 years old. She said that he literally just fell off the sofa and died instantly, unfortunately.
Wow. And did she do it?
She's explained that the baby just fell off. The child had fell off the sofa. The dad said he never left the child alone. He never left it on the sofa, but she did, and she turned her back and went into another room. So that was quite a sad story, to be fair.
A lot of step parents, so Ange, they do get jealous of the relationships that the men have with the kids. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, they can do.
Did she get a flail?
No, because of his disabilities that he'd already had. They said because it was a bleed on the brain, they couldn't have. Even though he fell off the sofa, because he already had issues, they couldn't pinpoint that it was because he fell off the sofa, if that makes sense.
Like 100% prove it was like
Yeah.
her that caused it.
Yeah,
Right.
obviously he had a bleed on the brain. That's what did it. But her story was all the same time that he fell off the sofa.
What does he think? Does he think he did it? She did it?
He hasn't said much. It was a while ago. I don't think it was in the papers. It was in my local town. I don't think it was in the papers. I'd have to have a look. But posts over the internet, over Facebook, went out to say that they were M's, and nothing ever got heard anymore. But unfortunately, it did happen. And then there was another situation with my children's dad. He had contact, and he was older, and he had a girlfriend that was 19. Now, I'd been separated from him for 3 years. Now, in my eyes, he'd got with somebody. If I'd said to him, no, you can't have the children, it would look like I was a bit jealous of him being in another relationship. So he had the children, and I'll never ever forget it. My son was only, I think he was 6. She rang me up one day and said, I've lost your son. I said, what do you mean you've lost my son? He had gone to work. I said, what do you mean you've lost my son? She said, oh, he was playing out in the garden. I've gone out to call him for tea, and he's not there. And I was, right, okay. And he was in a house 5 doors up. But before he had contact with that person, I didn't have any, I trusted him, not her, because I didn't know her, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So
You
it's
know
hard
what?
to
If I was in a relationship with someone with a child, I wouldn't want to take that responsibility and be that stepmom, because if something was to go wrong, how would I live with myself? Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah, the incident I said to you.
My niece, I thought, you know, God, I thought, oh, you know, and I looked after her quite a lot. I was thinking, what if something happens and something goes wrong? And, you know, I'm not thinking of myself. Don't get me wrong, I'm not thinking of myself. You know, I love her, she's my niece, but it's that responsibility, isn't it, as well?
Yeah.
You know, what if it does go wrong?
Yeah, like I say, the ex, I did sort of, I rang him straight away, and he said, you know, I've had to go to work, I had to leave the children with her. And I'd met her before, but I didn't know anything about her. You know, I presumed that he was okay with her having the children.
Yeah.
So it can happen, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's terrible, man.
But like I say, if you, I always think if you question an ex-partner, why about the other person, it looks like you're jealous.
Yeah, 100%, yeah.
In a way, you know, I should have questioned him more on her, but if I did, he would have turned around and said, oh, you're jealous of her, even though I wasn't. So I think that can be an issue for some people's stepmoms or stepdads.
You kind of win, can you?
No.
Yeah, I wouldn't. If I had a child, I wouldn't want a woman around my child anyway, regardless if she's bloody Mother Teresa. That's, you know, I mean, because I'm jealous, you know, because no jealousy, but no, that would be my child. You know what I mean? You don't even come go near my child. You know what I mean?
I think if it's just like I think it depends if like how long they've been in a relationship. You know, if they've been in a relationship for say 5-6 years. I think that's different to if someone's been in a relationship a month with somebody.
Angie, Vicky keeps on asking for the box. She's got split.
Well, that's awful, that is. Do you know what I mean? See, if she hasn't done it, how does she feel? You know what I mean? Thinking people maybe thought she had, you know.
Yeah. So the whole house at the scene, obviously, the whole house was cordoned off. At the time of it happened, he was obviously rushed to hospital. His mum was called. And when they got there, obviously she'd said to the dad, you know, what's happened? And he tried to explain. And the mum's answer was, why did you leave him with her? Like I say, he had other medical needs. He was tube fed and things. Now, my daughter, when she was younger, she was tube fed. And I know whoever I left her with, I felt she was safe. She could be fed through the tube from that person. So I don't know why he left her, but obviously it's literally a 5-minute walk to Asda, not even 5 minutes. Like I say, you come out of Asda and you see the flat in front of you. So we come out, seen the ambulance and the police, and literally just ran. And unfortunately, he was dead at the scene, unfortunately. And he was only...
Does that mean you wouldn't let someone into your child's life? That's also another good question, isn't it? If you've got a child and you're dating, I suppose you probably would, but I mean, how would you go about saying, you know, you're not going to stay alone with my child if I have to go to the shop or something? Do you know what I mean?
I think it depends on how much you know that person. You know, you could grow up through school with the same person and then be in a relationship when you're older, and obviously you know that person.
Yeah.
It's different if you just get with somebody on a night out and you're with them for a couple of months.
Yeah, I've never brought another man home to my son.
Would you? I mean, if you met someone that you like, would you?
It depends.
I think you know, don't you, the type of relationship that you're in, if it's going to be, if you want it to be a serious, or you can tell that they want it to be a serious relationship.
I'd wait at least like maybe a year before like stable, do you know what I mean? Before I introduced him like physically to my son, do you know what I mean?
But you can use Claire's laws to check the history. Yeah, but Claire's laws, what do they put on Claire's laws? Because there's always a first time, right? No,
So Sarah's and Claire's law, it's not...
It doesn't need to be convictions, and so basically if your partner, if he'd been arrested on suspicion or anything like that, anything to do with DV, then it would be on there, where the Sarah's laws, the SEX.
That's, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yeah, so if somebody did a Claire's law on that girl that happened with, I would presume something would be on there that happened, but she wasn't charged.
But like you say, Ange, not everybody rings the police, so he could have been abusive to another woman and she's obviously not said anything or reported him. So he might have just been like going...
Well, there could be no evidence, you know what I mean?
I don't know.
Yeah, you can't share a Claire and Sarah's law. I know, like, when you're having debates, Andrew, and people say to you, "Oh, do a Claire and Sarah's law," you can't do that. You can't
share it anyway. I wouldn't share it because that would be illegal.
Yeah, you can't do it. I had to do one of my ex-partner, and I couldn't even tell my husband now was on it.
That's crazy, that.
But people just think it's a register. It does save people's lives. Both of them do.
Yeah.
100%, but like I said, the first time, innit? Yeah, you know, you just, I don't know. I just don't think kids, you would feel safe, you know, with around. I mean, listen, I didn't go with my niece, you know, but she's an older child. She's 14. You know what I mean? You know, and if I was looking after her, you know, and you know, I was seeing someone, I would never leave anyone with her. But
Yeah, and I think it just depends on the age of the child as well, Ange. Like, because obviously if it's a baby, then they can't tell you anything. Where like older kids, they can.
Yeah, that's true. 100%. I don't know.
I'll drop down now, but Angie, what I'll do is I'll send you a message with the story that was put on Facebook about that.
Yeah. Oh, okay, yeah.
So you can have a quick read. But I'll if you follow me, Angie, on here, I'll send it to you.
Oh, thank you, Hannah.
Okay, I'll speak to you later. Bye.
See you later. I was just thinking, what about that story? I mean, going off topic a little bit, but that woman who left her child and went on holiday for bloody 10 days.
Yeah, leaving them to fend for themselves.
Oh, yeah.
But they reckon if she came back, I think, a few hours early or a day before, I can't remember what it was now, the child might have been alive.
Was that young girl, Ange? Like, she was like quite a young man?
I think she was about 2.
No, I mean, like, was the mother like just a young woman?
No, I don't think so. Wasn't his mother in her 30s or something?
Oh.
Early 30s?
Already late. The difference between Claire and Sarah's laws, obviously, Claire's is for DV and Sarah's is for SEX offences.
Claire's law is also for murder as well, isn't it? Of children.
No, that's Sarah's. Isn't it? I don't know. I don't want to comment there.
Sarah's law is not just sex offenders. I think it's also, isn't it, for anything to do with children? Have I got that?
Like any abuse to kids, yeah.
Yeah, Sarah's law's DV, and I think Claire's law's Sarah's law's Sarah's law's children, and Claire's law's DV.
Right.
Child,
yeah, because that Sarah's law come about after that Sarah Payne got unalived, that poor little girl.
Yeah.
I always remember that.
Yeah, they fought for that, didn't they? That one. I was brought in after unaliving Sarah. That was right. Yeah, and that DV. What was that? When was that brought in? I can't remember. That was when that woman was. Oh God, I do remember that to my tongue. Remind me, guys. What was the other one? The DV.
What?
Can I just go back to being with your children being with the step parents again. Sorry.
Yeah. Hello.
Hello. Sorry, it's my first time in the box. So I'm not going to go into everything, but my daughter doesn't live with me, but she lives with her stepmom, but not her dad. So she doesn't live with any biological parent. She lives with her stepmom.
Oh, that's unusual.
Yeah, I know everyone says it, but I just thought from a different perspective, my daughter lives with just her stepmom, with her stepbrother and sister.
And how do you feel about that?
Yeah, I just, as I say, I'm not getting into obviously why my daughter doesn't live with us, but I should see if I were she is with her stepmom, then with her, I'd feel then with her father.
Yeah, but she doesn't live with you either, though.
No, she lives with her stepmom, with her in Northern Ireland.
Would you want her to live with you, Vicky?
Yeah, but obviously, we can't.
Do you see her?
Yeah, I have her all the time. I go over and get her quite a bit. She comes over here, and I speak to her. It's just.
Can I ask you a question? Just for the stepmom, right? Because she's not her mum, is a stepmom, right?
Yeah.
Does she kind of feel or does have rights to the child? Well, she will have rights, I suppose, if she's living with her. But does she feel she has more rights than what you have, as in, you know, her behaviour?
No. So we went to court and decided the step parent. I can't remember what the thing's called, but it's so she has the same parental responsibilities as me and her dad.
Oh right, so it's kind of it's not shared custody or anything like that. No, it's
no. So she just has the same responsibilities as me and her dad. So she if she was to go to hospital, she wouldn't technically be able. If it was an emergency operation, then fair enough. But you normally have to have permission to sign papers.
Yeah, you need to sign a paper, don't you?
Where she wouldn't have had that until she has the guardianship or whatever paper step parent responsibilities. Me daughter.
Yeah.
11.
Oh, she's she's older.
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Oh.
Well, I would have went back to court for my daughter, but because my daughter's happy, I've already spoken to my daughter. She's happy enough where she is, and that she doesn't want to be moved back again. Then I look after my daughter as much as her stepmom, but because she doesn't want to go through all the upheaval again, I'm quite happy where she is, and she's happy.
Can I ask you a question? Have you been in a TV relationship or something?
Yeah, with our dad, yeah.
So that's the reason.
Yeah. But
do you see the father?
Pardon?
Do you see the dad?
No.
Does
stepmom's not with dad either now, so.
This is wild, and I'll tell you why I find this wild, right? Because you were with the guy that's abusive towards you, yeah, and the stepmom was also with him. That was also abusive towards her, I assume.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the kid is living with the stepmom.
Yeah, so Willow, she's called Willow by the way, she moved down there from everything that happened up here. And like I say, I could have went back to court and fought for it, but if she's happy and content where she is.
Well, what I'm saying, Vicky, I don't understand as to why she's even why she even got custody, or if that's what you call it, parental rights, whatever it may be, and not you in the first place.
So social was up.
You're in the same position as her, right? You've been with the same man.
Yeah, so it wasn't just domestic violence, it was other things as well. But obviously I don't really want to go into it on a big platform.
No, I get it. I know there's other things involved, but I assume it's with the same man that she was also with, so it's just a bit odd to me, that's all. I don't want to pry, you don't feel comfortable talking about it, so I understand that and I respect your wishes there.
No, it was just obviously I wanted to put into, that not all step parents, I'd get step parents, everyone has, I've always thought of that, but me and the stepmom get on really well. When I go over to where my daughter lives, I stop with the family. Me and her get on really well.
Yeah, I'm just wondering. It's just it doesn't make sense.
So, do you have it?
Huh? Sorry, Linz.
Oh no, sorry, it's just my.
Oh, carry on. Hello, Linz.
I forgot. Hello, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Hello. So do you like ever have any like? So do you have to literally like go by like her rules of when you can see your daughter? Or she's quite easy going where you can just.
No,
go
I
and get
can
her whenever you
go over
want?
whenever.
So she lives in Ireland.
Yeah, Northern Ireland, yeah.
Is that where her dad's from?
No.
But yeah, but I just feel there's Vicky.
Oh,
There's
so
a reason
the
why.
stepmom.
There's a
She's
reason
originally.
why- There's a reason why your child lives with his stepmom and not you, right?
Yeah.
Okay, you don't want to specify that, no?
So in a short, I just don't know who's on here, but in a short story, basically, my daughter went to school, told the school that I had hit her. Then obviously social got involved. She then told social that she had just made it up, she was lying, but because she had said this, then the social basically had said that she could have come home, because she did come back to my house after, when they were all involved, and basically said because she said that, they can't then retract it because she's already said that I had hit her.
So she went to live with your partner, yeah? Your ex-partner. Your father. She went to live with her father then, didn't she?
She went to live with dad and stepmom.
Dad and stepmom. But she wouldn't. You wouldn't have been in a DV relationship then if the social services
But the
decided
so when the social got involved, all of it come up through. They bring everything up from domestic violence and things like that. But because he was a married man then.
Right, so at the time they weren't aware of the DV.
No, they were, but because he's moved on, he now has a job and the profession that he's in. He then was a married man, had other children.
Right, because I don't understand. If he wasn't a DV, if he abused you, they would never. Social services would not have given him custody of the child.
It would have been. It's because he was with his. Because he didn't get charged for anything, because when that happened, when he lived with me and it happened, I rang the police, but then he rang the police and said I had attacked him because I had tried to get him off us.
Right. The bottom line is you both made reports about each other abusing each other. So
Yes.
social services got involved and they believed him because the child went into to stay with him and his partner.
Yeah, and then obviously his the Willow's stepmom left, and obviously took my daughter with her, which obviously we were in agreement with, because she's safer where she is now than she would have been.
Right. So they put him with a guy that you're saying abused you, but because there's no evidence of that, they've just left him. Is she still with them?
No.
So Vicky, like how you say like at the moment she's safer now with the stepmom. What do you mean by that? Like, so would you not sort of trust your ex, like haven't like been fully responsible for her? Like,
no.
What do you mean?
No. And plus his profession wouldn't allow it.
So does it? Vicky, when you said that your child had said that you'd hit her, like, doesn't social services not like take into account that children can lie? Because my son said that I punched him to me mum. I was like, you little liar.
I can. Obviously, I don't want to bring all the paperwork, but I can show you.
No, don't do that.
I basically got every time we were in social meetings, it was apparently you're not allowed to call your child naughty because that's emotional neglect. And because obviously she had said that I had hit her, but the social worker who originally was out had said, obviously children do make stories up, this, that and the other, but because she was like an emergency social worker, not a long-term social worker, it was the next social worker that just
doesn't make sense to me, because also they left him with a guy that you said that abused you. Do you know what I mean? It just doesn't make sense why they did that, really.
Because he hasn't been charged or anything with anything like that, because obviously when obviously it happened between me and him, he used to call them as well. So then we would have been both. Do you know what I mean? So I dropped it because.
Can I ask you a child? Did you hit your child?
No.
Did you hit him?
Who, my ex-partner? No. So mine was self-defence when he tried to do what he done, basically.
Right. Now we're getting somewhere.
But
Right,
because
so now we're getting somewhere. You did
because
hit him,
I
but it was
phoned the police, he was attacking us. I was on the floor and he was on above us. So obviously I was trying to get him off.
Right, so that's now that we're getting somewhere. The kid's staying with the stepmom and your ex because you were the abuser.
No, that wasn't because of that.
Oh, sorry, I mean you self-defense. Sorry. Yeah.
And I'm going to drop down and come back a second because it's all like me screen's froze.
Oh, yeah, it just doesn't add up. I'm sorry, it doesn't add up to me. You know, if you've got your child living with, not offensively, but if you've got a child living with your stepmom and the child went to live with him, then he's definitely not the abuser. If they found the evidence for him to be the abuser, they wouldn't have had the child stay with him. Do you get what I'm saying?
No, but he's not being charged with anything to be in the class as an abuser. It's just here. It's just what they have said is basically they couldn't do anything because he basically said if he was going to get arrested for what he had done to me, he was going to then press charges on me for self-defense.
Yeah. But anyway, it's good that you see a kid whenever you want, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
And if she's happy, right?
Yeah, like I say, I could go back and upheaval it all again, but
guys, I'm not. So whoever said I'm twisting it, I'm not twisting it. I'll tell you why. Because when social services if you don't mind me saying this, if social services get involved and the stepmom was looking after the kid, then I see it. Then he was looking after the kid. There's no evidence that he was abusive at all, right? There's no. I'm not saying it didn't happen, Vicky, but at the time they had no evidence.
Yeah.
Evidence. So the kid went to live with him and her, which is your stepmom, but there was evidence against you to say you were the, you were the one that hit him, or and the child also made a complaint to her school that you did hit her. Now you're saying that's a lie. Okay, there's no proof of that either way, but the social services decided based on the evidence they have to remove your child from your custody and put it with with her father and the stepmom. That's how I see it. You get what I'm saying? I'm not saying, that he didn't do anything or do anything to you, but there wasn't evidence of that. But there was evidence against you.
No, so there was no evidence of anything like that. Basically, they've brought everything up from when my daughter was young, because social even got involved when she was younger so she used to bruise all the time. So then the nursery had rang the social, and basically we had to go to the hospital and get her tested and things like that to see why she was bruising all the time. But it had turned out that she had something called in-tone gait, which means her foot tilts in over, so she falls over. She literally falls over all the time, so she's black and blue all the time. But they had to put that down as being abused, but the medicals in the hospital have said it's not. It's because of the in-tone gait. Yeah.
Oh, right. Okay, that's what they call it. I've never heard of it. But I understand where they'll probably be coming from. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you've not heard of that condition.
Yeah, so...
Okay.
It's just, I just think a lot. I just think, I do agree on social, but sometimes I do think the jump to the conclusion before taking everything into consideration for a lot of people.
Yeah.
But like I say, I only wanted to really come up and say about, obviously, not all step-parents are bad.
Any evidence against you or anything? No, there's just nothing there.
Nothing. Nothing.
Yeah, and he attacked you and it was just self-defense.
Yeah.
And that was self-defense, what?
You are sorry?
No, I'm just saying that he came for you, didn't? And you said it was self-defense.
Yeah. There's been times, you know, where it's got pretty bad, but a lot of times, and I mean, you know, I know a lot of domestic, you know, victims haven't, you know, and won't call the police because, you know, it's hard to. It is
especially
hard.
if you've got children.
Yeah.
It is hard. Yeah, it is hard. You know what I mean? You got children there, and you know social services are going to get involved, and you're worrying if the child is going to be removed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It could be. Yeah. Thank you for sharing your story, Vic. I didn't mean to ask you so many questions.
No, it's all right.
I was just so confused. But at least you see your child when you want to, and she's 11, isn't she? So she's a little bit on the old. She's older, isn't she? So
Yeah, it was just obviously, you know, people panic about step parents. I mean, yes, fair enough. There's people that, you know, step parents that do.
Do you? You know what? You know, did you? Yeah, it's good that you get on with the ex as well, eh?
No, I don't speak to my ex. We have no.
No, your ex. I mean, sorry, his ex-partner.
The stepmom, yeah. We're really good friends, yeah.
Oh, that's a bonus, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's really good, and you can get to see your child anytime, so that's good. You know what I mean? Why change it? You know, she's happy, innit?
Yeah. Obviously, you know, she's well aware that we could bring her back, but she doesn't want to. She's settled there and things like that.
Does she live far from you?
It's a plane flight. It's a flight, so.
Oh, is it? Oh my God.
Yeah, I don't live far from Lindsay.
A couple of hours away or something.
No.
Another country?
She's Northern Ireland.
Oh no, for God's sake. Have you ever thought of living in Ireland, you know, living near your child?
I've thought about it. I think about it quite a lot, but then I'd have to relocate, and it's a lot. And then all my family live here, so it's quite nice for me daughter to kind of get away for a bit as well.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. So.
Anything else, Linz? I feel like this is like a.
No,
I feel like it's a courtroom.
Have you went on to have more kids like Vicky?
No.
Just the one.
Yeah.
Yeah. If the child is happy, it's probably if the child is happy at the end of the day. Do you know what I mean? And
that's you've got to kind of put yourself on the back burner and think if your child's happy, then why upset them? Rock the apple cart again, so to speak.
Is it 6 years when she can make her own decisions? Is it 16 or 18? 16, isn't it?
16, but I mean, I could get her back, but she doesn't want to.
Yeah.
She's just quite.
To get her back, would you have to go through the court system?
I think so, but it wouldn't be as bad.
How long has she lived in Northern Ireland for, like Vicky?
A year.
Oh, so the stepmom moved from the UK all the way to Northern Ireland?
Yeah, so our stepmom's originally from Northern Ireland.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's good because it's a bonus that you get on with it then, eh?
Yeah.
Does she still see her dad or not?
Not really.
How often do you visit her?
Every month.
Ah.
How much is the flights to Northern Ireland, like Vicky?
It's cheaper than driving to where she used to live. So I could get flights for about £30-40 return.
Can I ask a question? Was it a court decision? You know, obviously it was a court decision that she was going to get custody, but now that she's left him, are the social services and all that happy for her to take responsibility, or was it like a court thing?
So we didn't go fully through court.
Oh, okay.
It was basically a joint decision, which was the easiest for everybody at that time.
Oh, okay. Yeah. As long as she's happy, that's the main thing, eh?
Yeah, like I say, I don't know if I'd have to go back through court. It would just be a matter of querying it, but...
How did you feel about the stepmother going all the way to Northern Ireland? Were you not a bit like sort of pissed off or anything like to
no,
take
so
off?
everything I'm involved in, so she had spoke about leaving dad, basically. And she wanted to go back home to where she's from. And she had said, would I be happy with Willow going? Which I had obviously thought about. And yeah.
How do you feel, Vicky, about people thinking or saying that you just can't be asking your kid, you know, wanting to fight for your kid back?
It's not the fact of fighting, because I'd fight every day for her. But if she's happy where she is, I don't see why I should upset a child when she's settled in. She's settled into a new school really well. And
how long was she with the dad before like the move to Northern Ireland? Like, has she been there since she was a baby or something? Or
no, so they lived down the south for 2 years, and then she's moved to Ireland last year. So it's 2 years with dad and the wife, and then obviously she's left and took.
You know, also because you don't want to, because if that was your kid, you'd want to move nearer. You know what I mean? And you just said you don't want to locate, and I don't know. I just feel like you don't want to fight for your child, and that's the impression I get.
There's a lot. Like I say, I would fight every day for her, but I can't move over there.
Is it because you? I just said, is it because you can't get it back?
No, I could get her back. There's no issues with that. It's a hard one, really, to see, because I would move over there, but because of things over here, it would be a lot.
I find that hard, you know what I mean? Because I think I'm not, listen, I don't have children, do you know what I mean? But I'd think if I did, I'd want to move closer to my child, do you know what I mean?
you know, when she went to live with the dad, so was that sort of like forced type of thing because she went to school and said that like about you hitting her? Like, sort of, did you have no option?
Yeah, I had options, but you know,
maybe there's more to it, I suppose. Yeah, I don't want to, you know, because sometimes you might say, no, it's not you, Linz. I'm talking about what I asked.
It's a difficult one. Like I say, I would move tomorrow, but there's a lot at where I am, and like I say, then she wouldn't see her family from this side.
Not when can you?
Obviously, then I'd have to leave my partner behind here because he can't go over there.
Yeah. I mean, it's a bit of a sensitive one. I think there's more to it, you know, and I understand that you can't maybe reveal it all, you know.
Yeah, it's a difficult one, but like I say, if I was on my own and I didn't have my family here, I would move. A lot of it's homesick as well. I don't think I could. I don't know.
Yeah, at least the flights are cheap though, I suppose.
Yeah. It's just one of them things, isn't it?
You're making your own decision at 16 anyway, innit? So
yeah,
she wants to come living over here, innit? Maybe, you know.
Mm.
No, she's happy, innit?
I think she keeps saying she's wanting to move to Australia, so I don't think that.
How long has she known the stepmum for then?
She's been with us. She's known her stepmom since she was about 1.5.
Oh wow!
Yeah, so it's not like a quick relationship. They were with each other for years. Yeah.
Oh wow! I expected you to say a few years.
No.
Wow.
That's good then, in a sense. At least it's not like sort of like a year or something, or 2 years.
Yeah.
She's basically grew up with that, hasn't she?
Yeah, she's basically known her all of her life.
Yeah. That's crazy.
I wish my son had a stepmom. Give me more of a break.
The child is 11, Casey. 11, isn't it? Isn't it? She's 11.
Yeah.
Yeah, so then, yeah, she's got used to what she's used to then, isn't she? And that's living in Ireland, you know. Yeah. So it makes more sense now, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, at least, like you say, your child's happy and she's comfortable where she is, then what can you do?
Yeah. If she's been settled for 10 years, it seems a bit strange to uproot her in it and start her all over again, like you say, with a new school and a new place to live.
I don't understand the bit when you said she went to school and she said that you hit her then. Is that when she was staying with?
Yeah, so it's only been 3 years, so she was with me until then. But the education in Northern Ireland, it sounds bonkers, but she's in the school that she's in out of this world, really. The schools where I live are pretty crap.
Well, can I go back to the school bit? You said when she went to school, she said that you hit her, which you say is a lie. But is that when she was staying with you for like a week or something? She wasn't living with you.
No, that's when she was living with me. So she's already been in her stepmother's care 3 years.
You said 1.5 until she's
no, so she's known her stepmom from being 1.5.
Oh, she's known, but she hasn't been living with her since 1.5.
No.
So how old was she when she went to school and said that you hit her? Like, how long is it when she's been out of like your full-time care?
She was 8, nearly 8, yeah.
Right. Okay. Okay, that makes sense now. Right. Okay. And the reason why, when she said you hit her, which she's saying she didn't, that's when she was removed.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. I get it. That
Right. So basically, your daughter was about 8.5 when she sort of went to school, and then that's when she moved in with your ex and his wife. But then the stepmom and dad have broke up, and then she's moved to Ireland in the last year. Right.
Yeah. Last 3 years. Literally, she's been living with her 3 years.
Yeah. So, you know, when she was like living with your ex and his wife, like, did you like see her like sort of weekends and that, or did you just share the custody?
So on weekends, because they were dad's based 6 hours away.
Oh, right.
How's it confusing? I can tell you guys, basically, right, she has a baby, she's with someone that she was in a domestic violence relationship with him, or it might not have been DV. I think they were probably bad as each other, if you don't mind me saying, Vicky. He attacked her, Vicky defended herself, blah blah blah. They broke up, okay. The child was living with Vicky up until the age of 8. But then the child went to school. One day at school she said that Vicky hit her. Vicky saying she just made that up. Child Services removed the child and put it into the care of the father and the stepmom. But then the stepmom and father broke up. Now the child is living with the stepmom. Is that correct?
Yeah.
That's what happened. Now, do you pay child support then, Vicky?
I do, yeah.
I hope you don't mind all these questions. I'm just curious.
No, I don't mind.
I think it's because, Angie, we're always like, stereotypically, it's normally like the man and the kid goes to live with the woman, don't they? So it's just interesting to hear it from like a woman's point of view.
Thanks, Lynn, for letting me in. Can I just ask you a question, Vicky? Why would an 8-year-old say that their mum hit them if it's not true?
No idea. She had basically went to school, but then she had told the social that she had lied about it. But because she's already said it, then they couldn't take it back.
And also, just my opinion, nothing would stop me. No family, no husband, no partner, nothing would stop me living near my child. And you say you don't want to, you know, go through that and you wouldn't settle, but your child's had to move and settle, so it's only fair you should do the same, right?
Yes and no.
I just think dribs and drabs of the stories, like,
I do get
missing
moving
for sure.
I do get moving over there, and like I say, you know, but I don't think I'd cope being over there.
But what if your daughter can't cope? She's got no choice.
But that's all being took into consideration. She's already been spoken. It was, well, you know, this has all been spoken to with her.
Suspicious.
And at the end of the day, I suppose your child's happy. She's happy, you know, she's 11, you know what I mean? She's happy where she is, you visit her. I mean, I don't understand it, you know, I suppose you'd want to be with your kids, you know what I mean? And you'd fight for your kid back. But that's most people, not everyone's the same. And the bottom line is she's happy, I suppose. You know, and she wants to...
To be honest though, and my son said I punched him in the nose. He went down and told me mum. My mum was like, what? And I had to sit him down and just say, like, I know you were just...
Is that when we were on a FaceTime and you were having an argument and I heard a big smack?
Oh, Angie, man, for fuck's sake, man.
And Ange, I just want to say, I think you're amazing for bringing this up. Considering you haven't got any children, you're thinking like just like a mother would, and I think that's great.
Yeah, you know, I would always think, you know, I don't like adoption, I don't like any of that, you know, I think the child belongs to the biological parent, but then that can't always happen, innit? For obvious reasons, you know, for reasons such as abuse, innit?
It's just a shame.
Thank you for sharing your story to us, Vicky. You know, and I suppose and I think Vicky, your child probably said whether I don't know whether it's true or not. I'm not saying the child is lying. She's saying she did make it up, but I don't know all that ins and outs about that. With the bruises all over her body, she does have a condition, you say, where she does fall over and bruise.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's been verified by the doctors and all of that.
Yeah, so that was from the specialist at the RVI.
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, if you were hurting your child, I don't think that would allow you to see your child.
No.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, true.
And are they aware, social services, because they were involved, are they aware that you see your child presently?
Yeah. Yeah,
there you go.
Yeah, they know everything, so.
Yeah.
Does your partner get on with your daughter? Does your daughter like him?
Yeah, so it's a really strange one because she doesn't really speak to her dad at all, and she calls her stepdad dad, as well as she calls her stepmom mum as well, which is obviously being spoken about as well.
Oh, sorry, is the stepmom with...
What?
Oh no, go on, Linz.
Sorry, I'm just a bit confused. So is the stepmom with a new husband, like partner now, and she calls them mum and dad?
So my partner's dad. And
New Zealand.
A stepmom's with someone new, yes. But she doesn't call him dad, she just calls him by his name.
Oh. What does she call her stepmom? By real name?
Either a real a name or mum. Because they have other. So stepmom has other children, which is our little brother and sister. To make it easier, she calls.
Yeah, I don't agree with that. Stepmom being called mum. That's just like fucking on networks are crazy kind of shit.
How do you feel about that, Vicky? Like,
I'm all right about it because she calls her stepdad my partner dad.
Yeah, it's getting weirder, man.
I'm getting so much hate in the comments for making the saying suspicious, but I didn't mean it in a bad way. Like, I'm just saying something just don't add up.
I mean, if I could bring all the papers up and
don't do that.
Obviously, you can't say so much. Like,
well, you know, Vicky, when she was diagnosed with this condition, where she bruises easily, was that found out after she'd been taken or before?
Yeah, when it was all going on. Yeah,
you're done. All right.
Yeah.
When you got diagnosed with a condition, were you not like sort of inclined to want to like sort of get her back full time? Like,
so yeah,
that would be devastated me.
I like I say, I could go and get her back, but we've had this conversation, sat down as a family, and she doesn't want the upheaval of moving.
Yeah, I understand all that, but you know, like at the time where like sort of she'd only just sort of went with dad and stepmom and
It was all through COVID, so it was all a bit delayed, really. By the time things started moving again.
Guys, if people want to get in the box, can you make a comment, please? Because I don't know who's here and who's not. Because there's a glitch.
Vicky, do you have any other children?
I don't know.
Okay. And this is really a bit nosy, but why can't your partner go to Ireland?
Because of his job.
Right, okay.
He's in the military.
Right, okay.
Oh, Vicky, that's what I'm saying. You know, you said you couldn't have your child with you because of his job, because he's in the military.
No, my partner's in the... her dad's in the military, yeah. So basically, if he was to have her, she would go to basically a boarding school.
Why?
In case he was to be sent away anywhere.
Somewhere,
Yeah, she's got out of a bad situation, like out of a situation with her going with her dad to be in boarding school or being with family, then we've chose.
Yeah, but that's strange, Vicky. If your child was come to live with you, you said that you couldn't because of your partner, because he's in the military. Now you're saying she'd go, but she'll be living with you.
So if because I wouldn't be able, well, I could move, but my partner wouldn't be able to move with being in the military.
Oh right, I see.
But her dad's also in the military as well.
Why would, if she was with her dad, why would she have to go to a boarding school? Well, I know plenty of people who are in the armed services and none of their children go to a boarding school.
So she would have to, if he was to go away, and because he's like that, he would send her to a boarding school.
Right, so that would be out of choice, not out of, like, necessity. He would choose to send her to a boarding school.
Yeah.
Right, okay.
I've got to say, this doesn't add up, Vicky, to be honest. None of it makes sense. It's just getting worse and worse. Sorry, this is how I feel. Not. Oh, okay. Maybe there's more to it, I don't know. Does anyone else find this a little bit strange, the story?
I do.
See, like, the thing is with me, like, I think sort of at the time where, like, you know, you got accused of hitting her and social services was involved, but then she got diagnosed with that condition that sort of backed your side up. Like, I would have, like, said, well, right, I want my daughter back. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, that's just my opinion, no hate or anything.
No, the daughter didn't want to come back. She wanted to stay.
I know, but Angie, this is years ago when she just first went with the dad and stepmom. Do you know what I mean?
And I know your partner's in the military, but can't he just relocate? Because, again, I know people that have done that as well. They've moved and they've been able to just relocate.
It's not very clever for them to go to Northern Ireland for being a British soldier.
Why would you bring your daughter here? Why would you have to go over there if your child lived with you?
What do you mean? Yeah, so she doesn't want to come back over here. She wants to stay there. She's settled there. That's what I'm saying.
This is, you know why? All right. So you're thinking of today you put the man first?
No.
Yes.
No, because I wouldn't personally move over there due to my health.
But you could bring her back to you.
Yeah, but she doesn't want. That's what I'm saying. She's quite happy being where she is. She's settled where she is. We've had.
Yeah, I get that, but she is also a child, and she's your child. So at the end of the day, it's kind of your decision.
Yeah, because that's what I'm saying. Like before she even went to Northern Ireland, because she's only been to Northern Ireland like a year. You know, like sort of. Would you not have wanted her back? Like sort of even. I know she's only been moved out of your house like sort of 4 years, but like. Maybe like 3 years ago, or maybe even 3.5 years ago, would you not have wanted her just to come back with you full time before she got settled with a stepmom and your ex-partner? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but because of it, with it all going on for so long due to COVID and things like that, she had already, do you know what I mean, been
already settled. Right.
Yeah. And we're only doing what the child wants to a certain degree. You know, if she wanted to come back, then fair enough. But she she's settled and happy where she is. Just
Yeah, I suppose if and somebody called DC's asking. Somebody called Ace. They're not even in
sorry?
the box. Somebody was asking for the box, but they're not even there. Our Lady Rebecca wants the box.
I'll give you a mod power on this one.
I think I've already got it.
You got mod power. You lazy cowlins. You're a mod.
Lady Rebecca, I can't see you in the box. You must be on private. And yeah, come on, you fucking ass with it.
I can't believe you're actually looking on the list saying this person, that person. I'm thinking, oh, she hasn't got mod powers on this account. Hi, Cloud Chaser.
I think
Is Cloud Chaser there? We've got a Dean.
Dino wants the box.
Hi, Dean.
Oh, no, I'm not. Sorry, I didn't mean to drop in. I'm just Marks and Spencer's. I'm scurrying out. Sorry.
Okay. Hi, Dean.
Hey, Ange, how you doing?
Good, thanks. Yourself?
Not too bad. Can I talk about sort of what you were just talking about? But then obviously it will lead into something else though, so I don't know if it's a good thing to say or not.
Depends what you're gonna talk about.
Or like CA as well.
Yeah.
Like I say, because obviously I'm from a family that's got like, there's 6 siblings.
Yeah.
So like myself, and then I've got 5 sisters. So
Right.
we've all got different dads. But then we was also brought up with the domestic violence of seeing our mum being beat up. Does
Yeah.
that make sense?
Yeah.
And then also, I don't know how to go about it, but it's like when you're a child and you're very young, it's quite difficult to understand what's right and wrong. So when you're growing up, you're finding out certain things as you grow older. And obviously with me, my mum was beaten up. My sister had her arm broken by one of the dads. You know, another one was taken in, and we was all put into, like, at the time there was 2 of us because it was my older sister and me, and we were put into care. But then when we was put into care, we was abused in care, so we had to get taken out in care.
Oh.
Because sometimes social services don't always do what they need to do.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
Or just tell me to shut up and I'll just go.
No, you carry on. Just tell your
But the whole
story.
point is, you know, some of us males do deal with this and we do see it, and yeah, it is quite embarrassing because sometimes we need to be the stronger ones in the family. And like I say, in my family, I had to be the father figure because we've all got different dads. Like, I would have had a sister that would have been older than me, but she died. But I was never told that. I only found out because I found the letter. And obviously, I've never seen my dad. I couldn't really care about my dad. You know what I mean? I'm living my life, so that's all that matters. But then
And
also,
how do
as
you
well,
feel?
sorry.
Yeah. I was just going to say, Han, how do you feel about, you know, because you and Kin, how do you feel? Has it affected you?
Well, of course it's affected me because also I had to be the father figure to my sisters as well and take care of them. As when the new siblings come along from different dads, I had to be the sibling because obviously my mum wasn't being responsible, right? Obviously I don't talk to any of my family, so I have no contact with my family whatsoever because I've had to look after myself and take control of myself and my health. And it's like I used to see it day-to-day basis, and also I used to go to work a lot when I was going to secondary school. So when I was going to secondary school, I used to start a job at like 2 o'clock in the morning because I never wanted to be at home because there was always domestic violence. There was, you know, and because I was a child, it was hard for me. It's like I couldn't pick up the phone because I would not know who to call because I didn't know what was right or wrong because it's probably like what at that age. But the point is like some parents don't do some parents don't take responsibility, and when you say something as you get older and realize and talk to them about it, they sort of detract from it. So obviously when I was a child, we used to have a babysitter that used to babysit us, but then he tried it on with me when my mum was at work. So then I was the A word, which went on for a certain amount of time. And when that was stopped, then it led on to one of the stepdads doing the same thing. So I was in a bunk bed with my sister. So my sister was on the bottom bunk. She was young. I think I was like 7 or 8 or something like that. So I was on top bunk and Dad started. But when I come out and said to my mum, she'd never believe me. Because I used to get out of bed and try and crawl across the floor to get out the door. But there was always something stopping me. Like, it sounds weird, but like there was someone stopping me. Whoever it was, I don't know. Maybe it was an imagination, something like that. And obviously that affected, like I say, I suffer mental health because of this trauma. Like I say, it's made me a bigger person now. So anyone can stop me. I'm not going on or anything like that. But at the end of the day, I'm not a person to sort of speak out, but sometimes it is good to speak out. Like I say, I'm in a bigger place now. You know, I work in mental health. You know, I support other people with mental health issues. It's probably the best thing I ever done in my
I
life.
think it's great that you're speaking out. Do you know what I mean? Because I think more men should speak out about it. And like you said, you know, as a man, you probably feel you have to act a certain way, you know, because that's society. That's the society telling us that men should be stronger, men should be the provider, men should be this, men should be that. Do you know what I mean? And that's not the case. That's society telling us that. I think men should be able to be emotional and to talk about their feelings. Do you know what I mean?
No, I hear what you're saying. Like I say, I've watched you many times, and like I say, I wouldn't normally come on, but it's like, because I've been listening to certain stories from certain parents and that, it's like, you know what? Yeah, I have a mum. I've got a mum that lives, but I don't see her. There's people that have got mums that are not around that would love to see their mum. And that's what's heartbreaking as well. Don't you think I'd love to see my mum, but I can't? You know, do you not think I'd love to see my siblings? I can't, because they rely on me too much.
Yeah.
I've got to think of myself. But like I say, going back to like the SA, that happened, but she would never believe that he done that to me. So it happened with the child abuser, then it happened.
That's quite normal as well, Dina. You know that for a mother not to believe that, you know. I've heard about that before, you know.
Well, it still goes on now. It's such a sad sort of state of mind. But at the end of the day,
Always believe your kids, you know what I mean?
But it's like she was never there to support. And like I said, we've all got different dads. You know what I mean? I was a father figure to my sister. I used to get up when I went secondary school. I never wanted to be at home. I got a job in a market. I used to get up at 3 a.m. in the morning, go and do that job, go to school, and didn't want to come back home. I went back, set the market away, and then went back home because I didn't want to deal with that sort of hassle, because obviously I was in the middle. And like I say, my sister had her arm broken, my mum was beaten, she had her jaw smashed open. You know, that's there was so much that happened. But it's like, there is a lot of males out there that are suffering, but it's so difficult.
May I ask you a question? And, you know, if you don't want to answer, you don't have to. You don't see your mum, you said, no?
No.
Is that because you didn't believe you? Or was that because you felt like you kind of blamed her for what you went through?
No, I used to, like I say, I used to speak to my siblings, but because I went to therapy and everything else, and because I used to get a lot of messages from my older sister who suffers from mental health as well, she was putting a lot on me. So she was like, you don't care about me, you'll never make a support worker, blah, blah, blah. But when the therapist turned around to me, ignore the messages. And since that day, when that therapist turned around and said, ignore the message, my life totally changed, because what she was sending me was affecting me. And she was just thinking about herself and not realizing about others around her.
Yeah. Do
you know what I mean? I'll be there to help anyone, but my sister's had so much support and help. Like I say, I had to take my sister's kid on as a carer because she had her kids taken off of her. So she had 2 kids. One of them went to his dad in Ireland and the other one had to stay with me. He went into care but the care that he went into wasn't suitable for him because that person, which was a male, which was from a different background. So he ended up staying with me till he finished school. So he was with me for like 3 years, 4 years. And like, I live in a 1-bed flat, so he had to have the living room, you know. But it's like going back to where things happened to me, where I was abused also upset me because I'm gay. I felt that that's what turned me gay, if that makes sense. Like, don't get me wrong, I have no difference about it, because also obviously with my family they always turn around and said, oh, why don't you bring anyone home, why don't you bring a girl home, why don't you do this? Because I was scared to bring anyone home because there was always fights in the house or something was happening, because I was always the one as well. With my older sister being there, if anything happened, I used to always get the slipper, always used to get hit. You know, I used to have to hide under the table just to get away so I didn't get hit. You know, and before, when, like I said, when I had therapy, I didn't look at certain things because my sister used to do, my older sister used to do certain things like put poo in certain things for me to eat, or those tablets that were purple that, I don't know what they were like the purple tablets.
Yeah.
Go on, sorry.
No, carry on. I was just going to say what you said before I forget about what you said about being gay. Someone's put in the comments that they disagree that you're born gay. See, I don't believe you're born gay. Yeah, that's just my opinion, you know. I think you
Like I can't say that. I can't agree or disagree with that.
But I don't think you're born that way.
Yeah, but like I say, I can't agree. I think because I was twice by 2 males, that's what I felt that made me go that way, if that made sense. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does make sense.
Obviously, like the situation, what's happened, obviously he went to court, etc. But like I say, we've been in and out of care several times, but then also we've been abused in care, so it's quite difficult. Do you know what? Like I say, I work in mental health now. Do you know, I've been doing it for nearly 9 years now. It's probably the best thing I've ever done. Do you know what I mean? I can't change someone because it's about that individual that needs to change themselves. And you've got to help yourself to move forward. And like someone said in your comments, yeah, the past is the past, but you're never going to forget the past, but you have got to move forward. Because if you don't move forward, you're just going to keep beating yourself up over it. And that's why, like I say, I had to step away from my family. Like, I'm my own individual, you know, I'm independent, you know, I can do, you know, I can cook, I can clean.
Do you have counselling, do you know?
Sorry?
Do you have counselling or anything like that?
No, I used to. I don't need it now because obviously, well, I'm more forward than that now.
Yeah.
You know, I'm in that right place. You know,
That's good.
where I work, I have that support. I have that sort of network, you know. You know, even if I have to 2 weeks off work, my work will always call me, etc. Like, I've had jobs all my life, but I went into jobs full time. But every time I went into a full-time job, I relapsed. So I ended up back in hospital. And then I, like, say, I was sectioned for like 6 months. Then I come out, and then I ended up back in. Then I tried to hang myself. And then, you know, because I was just beating myself up.
Yeah, just be careful what words you use.
Yeah, sorry, I just realised.
Yeah, well, what I'll do is I'll drop you only because you use that word. But if you want to, just request the box and I'll put you straight back in, yeah? And you can finish off your story off, yeah?
No worries, Anne. Sorry about that.
Good. It's when you get bananaed. But come straight back in. So, one sec, guys. I want to get him back in. Where's he gone?
And I've just jumped up to say Dino's amazing because he always comes in and has the crack with us and has the laugh with us, and no one knows what someone's been through or going through.
Yeah. Hi, Dean. Sorry, I just didn't want you to get bananaed.
No, sorry, I should know better anyway.
No, that's okay. Yeah.
It's so when I get into deep conversation, sometimes, you know.
Yeah, it's easily done. Yeah. So
I was trying to be a bit responsible.
Want to carry on, Dino?
Yeah, so do you know what I mean? There's many males out there that have gone through so much. Like I say, I've gone through so much, but I've come so far as well, and that's all that matters at the end of the day. Because yes, we have a family. Yes, I would love to have a family. You know, I have no one in my life. It's just me, really. You know, by myself.
You've
And
got everybody here though as well, Dino, who are supporting you.
Sorry.
You've got everybody here as well, you know, that support you.
No, that's fine. Like I say, it's like I say, we've all been through something in life. I've been through so much.
Oh no, he got removed. He got bananaed. That's probably because I don't understand that. I put him back in. So I must have reported him. I don't understand why people are reporting. Dino, did you get? Have you got another account, Dino, that you can go on? That was really awful. Someone's reported him. You know what I mean? I don't know if he's got another account he can jump on. Dino, I don't know if you're still here, but has you got another account that you can jump in on? Yeah, and remember, you can always DM me or anybody in here, Dino, and I think that's amazing. You got an amazing job there as well. Do you know what I mean? Always, lift your head up. I hope he can come back. I don't know if he's got another account. Dino, if you've got another... I don't. Oh, you don't have another account. He has another account. Sorry, Dino. I'd put you in. Yeah, big love, Dino, guys. Kiri, are you in the box? I was going to say something. That's it. I was going to talk about, what I was talking about. Someone said that you're born gay. You know, you don't know whether that's true or not. I think this is just my opinion. People can have different opinions. I don't believe you're born gay. I don't think you're born anything. I think you develop feelings for who you develop feelings for. It could be environmental issue or your family or, you know, the way you're the educated, taught, you know, or just generally just who you fancy. I don't think you're born gay. No. Facts, yeah. Who else is in the box? Awful reporting for telling a story. I know. So sorry, Dino, you got reported. How long did you get bananaed for? I've got so many people in the box. But I don't know if they want the box. Zayana, you bitch. Where have you been? I've been on since 1.
I know, but I thought I'd let everyone have a box to tell their stories. I didn't want to be a box hugger.
Pick them up and drive off. I don't care.
Because you were saying all right, so I thought you wanted to come on.
Guys, does anyone else want the box before I shut the discussion down? Anyone want to discuss anything? Please make a comment. Yeah, and big up Dino. Thank you so much for sharing your stories, Dino. I'm just so sorry that you got bananaed.
And then when I saw Dino in the box, I thought, no, he always comes in and he shared this story and no one knows what someone's been through, going through. And we always have a laugh with him.
Yeah. It's true, a lot of us walk around with body armour on.
Yeah.
Those are 5 people are requesting, but there's this glitch where they request a box by accident. So if people could just tell me if you're in the box and we can put you in. God, there's like 20 people requesting.
So again, Julie.
You will sleep, I think I do. I'm not sure. Nicola doesn't know she's in the box. Who else? Anyone else want the box? Yes, hun. Kaz14142. Are you on the box? Let's see if you're here. Kaz, okay, got you.
Hello, Angie.
Hiya.
Hiya, I'm a secret watcher of yours. I've been watching you for months, but this subject's touched me a little bit because I was a kid that was abused by a parent, but the abuser also made my mother an abuser. So it's quite a touchy subject. I relate a lot with Dino. You know, my situation was exactly the same. I'm very bitter still now, you know, but I have children myself, you know, I have 4 of them and I would fight anything for them, but my mother never fighted, you know. I got put in the care system. My mum lost 4 of her kids. 2 of us got put in care. 2 of them got put up for adoption. Me and my sister never got put up for adoption because we were too old and we had seen too much. So I continued in the care system until I was like 16. Then when I was 16, my foster parents had kicked me out and put me in a hostel, you know. I had my daughter at the age of 18 and it was my children that made me. I stay away from my parents because they are my demons, you know. My mum's still alive. She lost all her children.
Wow.
You know? And I relate a lot with Dino. My mum, like I said, when I was young, my mum was a nice lady. She got with my stepdad and he abused all us children, but my mum thought it was right and she started doing that, you know. So, and I never speak out. I'm silent. I suffer in silence it, and that's how it is, because who really cares? Do you know what I mean? No one really cares. But, you know, but I just wanted to say to Dino, like, I have a lot of respect for you because I see where you're coming from. I'm going to jump down because...
You don't never get justice. You know it's never too late to get justice.
You know, like, for many years, like, I was being abused by my mum and my stepdad, and I'd go to school. And I remember a gladiator. Do you remember the gladiators? They had come to visit us. And I remember having a black eye. And my mum would never pay for the photo of the gladiator. And the school were aware of what was going on. Back in the early 90s, you know, like, social never really did anything. And before social would turn up to our house, I had my mum and my stepdad, you know, standing there going, you say this to them, you say this to them, because if you don't say this to them, you know. But it was only until I was a little bit older that I knew that I hit rock bottom in my teens. I was doing things that I shouldn't have done in my teens, you know, and I was letting my abusers destroy my life, you know. And I've changed. I've literally switched my whole life up. I removed myself from everyone. I just want to say to Dino, like, big up yourself, Dino, you know, for us survivors. And we still, you know, me being a foster child and a kid in the system, even to this day, I'm nearly 38 years old, and still to this day I'll get judged for having the parents I have. People got to remember, I never asked for those parents. And when I got taken away from my mum, no matter how much she abused me, I still wanted my mum. I remember being taken that first night in my foster home and how horrible it was in a house that I never even knew. You know, I just wanted to say, that's all I wanted to say. I relate to you, Dino, a lot. But thank you, Angie.
Thank you, Crazy Stace. Thank you.
I just wanted to say, Ange, that, you know, when you said that when a child's born, it's not born into him to be not straight, or, you know, I don't know if I'm allowed to say gay on here, but yes, it is. It is actually born in them. So
I see. You know, unless you actually can provide proof that as a child is born that way, I don't believe it, because, you know, I don't believe a baby is born anyway in any way. You know, I believe it's just developed. You know, where you just develop feelings for a guy, you develop feelings for a girl. That's all it is. I don't think the baby develops feelings for anything. You know, how can a baby be born and develop feelings for someone?
See, I thought the same as you, but then I'd got a friend that lived up the street, and she was devastated when her daughter went down that way, and she went into it, like, scientifically, whatever it is, and it was proven. She proved it, that it is actually born into them, and I thought, oh, right. You know, I mean, I've got a couple of kids that aren't straight. I wasn't devastated because, obviously, it don't bother me. You know, as long as my kids are happy, I'm just, you know, I'm just there to help them all. I mean, I've been listening for the last, like, 10 or 15 minutes to the couple that's been on here, and my heart just goes out to them. You know, I mean, I've got a lot of children, and the thought of them having to go into foster care or being looked after by somebody else, it just, oh God, it drains me. It really does. My heart goes out to her, the 38-year-old. She's done really, really well, bless her. You know, and it is awful.
Yeah. Hey, Ruth.
Hi. I just like, because obviously you've just said about you think that people aren't born gay. I disagree with you. As you know, I'm a gay woman, and my twin sister's gay, and my son is gay. So that kind of tells me it's like you're born to be gay.
Yeah, there's something inside the body. There's something inside the body.
Yeah, you're born gay.
No, I don't think you're born like racism. You know, people say you're not born to be racist. You're not born to be this way. I don't think you're born anyway. I don't think there's a gene in your body that says you're gay. You know what I mean? This is why this is the way I am. Yeah. I think it's know what? I think it's families, things that surrounded you, environment. Who you just fancy. Do you know what I mean? As a baby, you don't fancy anybody. You're a baby. Do you get what I'm saying? So I think when you develop feelings for someone, you start thinking, you don't start developing feelings for the opposite sex or even the same sex until you're a little older, do you?
Yeah, I mean, I respect your opinion. Do you know what I mean? I'm just popped up to. So, if we're not born gay, why is my twin sister gay?
That's it. Influences around you. I think that also has a thing in that. Yeah.
But why is my twin sister gay as well as me?
Like, I'm going to research this, Ange. I'm really going to research it, and I'll come back to you.
Yeah, I don't.
You know what? We will come back to this. Actually, I will come back on because I'm going to come off now, and I will come back on at say 6 o'clock, and we'll talk about this because I'm going to do some research on it too. Because I'm interested.
I'm going to do some research as well. Actually, yeah.
She was also born trans, so
it's a really interesting subject. Like, it's really interesting. Is there any proof that we're born gay? Is there proof that we're not born gay? It's really interesting.
Well, I can't remember what my friend said, but she went really downhill because her daughter was turned into a lesbian, and she went into it medically. And then she come back to me and said, right, Karen, I've done it. She said, they're born with it. So whatever they're born with, and I've got 2 gay children, and I've got a lesbian as well. So to me, it doesn't matter anyway. I still love my children. I wouldn't care what they are. Do you know what I mean? But scientifically, it is proven that you are born with some gene or something. So, yeah, one of us needs to.
But I didn't develop feelings for someone until I was in my teens. You know what I mean? So
my older sister is straight. It's just me and my twin that are gay. My older sister's straight. It would be really interesting to see if there is anything that backs it up.
Yeah, well, I know there is, but I can't pin it because it's about 8 years ago we had this conversation. So, but it would be nice for one of us, to say, yeah, it's definitely this.
Yeah,
Can I just ask? Did you have your son naturally? Were you with a straight relationship and then switched?
So
all mine's naturally, with the same man. Well, I mean, there's quite a few.
Question to Ruth. Sorry.
Oh, sorry.
I've always known I was gay, but I because my twin sister came out, I didn't feel that I could because we were younger, and so I settled with Alex's my son's dad. And then I had a child, obviously, and then I had to leave him because I had to be myself. I did love my son's father, but I knew that I was with the wrong person and the wrong sex, But yeah, I kind of just settled because I thought that was the right thing to do. Yeah, and now my son came out as being gay when he was 14. So if it's not genetics, why am I gay and why is my son gay? It blows my mind. I just don't know.
Yeah.
I think it's influences around you, your environment, all that kind of thing, and you don't develop feelings for someone until you're a bit older,
But what to back up what you're saying, Angie, is there's a lot of bisexual people which fancy both genders. So maybe you are right, Angie. I think we're born gay, but maybe you're right because then how do we prove bisexuality? Do you know what I mean? Like, how can you fancy both sexes? It's an
I don't think you're born that way because it's not in your genes or anything, is it? Do you know what I mean? When you're born, you don't have a gay gene, you know what I mean, or a straight gene that says this is what you're going to be.
I do. I believe that we're born gay. That's just my opinion. But I would love for somebody to come to me with proof.
I honestly think, Ruth, it's your surroundings, like your family. Where they've probably spoken about you about certain, that it's okay to be gay. Having these conversations with your kids to say you can be whatever you want to be, and having that acceptance in your family as well as probably having influence on.
If someone's got any evidence to back up that we're not born gay, then come at me. I'd be really interested to see it, definitely.
Yeah.
And Dino, can I just say to Dino, what a man. You are the most incredible man and you're so brave. Big up to you. Like, so much respect. And there's a lot of love in here for you, man. A lot of love.
100%.
Yeah.
Hey, Dino, I'm glad you're back. Are you mute? You're on mute, Dino.
He's on mute, yeah.
That's it.
So I didn't mean to change the sort of debate on the gay side. Like I said, because I was abused and because I got older, I thought that's what made me the way I was, if that made sense.
Yeah.
I know this debate's just gone off from, say, like EV to something else, but the whole
So do
point
you
was-
think that you were forced to be gay then? With what happened to you?
No, not at all. Because obviously with my family, they said, "Oh, why don't you bring a girl home? Why do you do this?" Like, don't get me wrong, I have a 19-year-old daughter.
Yeah.
So I was with a girl, but then at that time I thought I was forced into that, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I just want to, for the people, for the troll in the comments saying that I cheated on my wife with a man. Really? Grow up, trolls. But yeah, it's a very interesting subject. And I would, and you need to like research it and get some proof and stuff.
I know. I want to, because I'm going to come off soon because I've been on it since 1 o'clock. I want to just go feed the cat for a couple of hours, but I will come back, guys. And Dino, please, do you want to finish off your story when I come back then, Dino?
If you want me to, I'll join.
I will be back in a couple of hours or something, guys.
Thank you.
So thank you, everybody.
Good luck, Dino.
What time are you coming back, Ange?
About 6.
Okay, see you at 6, everybody.
See you at 6, guys. See you at 6 o'clock. Get in the box, everyone, at 6. 6 o'clock.
Friends, you have until 4:30 to place your orders, friends. 4:30, okay? Let's tap the link, friends. Let's tap the link. All right, link number 1, friends. Let's go. Link number 1, friends. Link number 1. We have this amazing sale today, friends. Please tap the link. Do not miss out on this sale, friends. Do not miss out on this sale, friends. We have this amazing sale today, friends. So place your orders, friends. Place your orders. All right. Place your orders. Welcome, friends. Don't stop tapping the link, all right? Don't stop tapping the link, all right? Keep tapping the link, friends. Keep tapping the link, friends. Let's go. Link number 1, friends. Link number 1. Okay, link number 1. We have this amazing sale, friends. So please do not miss out on this sale, friends. Do not miss out on this sale. Link number 1. We have this amazing sale, friends. Don't miss out on this sale, friends. Link number 1, friends. Tap the link. All right. Let's go, friends. If you don't want to miss out on the sale, friends. Link number 1, friends. Don't stop tapping the link, all right? Yes, keep tapping the link. All right. You have until 4:30, friends. You have until 4:30 to place your orders, friends. The flash sale is still on, friends. The flash sale is still on, friends. Okay, let me see. All right, £22, friends. Only £22, okay? £22, all right, friends? So don't miss out on this sale, friends. Do not miss out on this sale, okay? We have this amazing sale today, friends. All right, yes, let me show you the amazing in store for you, friends. We have this lovely purple pink. All right, love, thank you so much for the likes. Yes, we have this lovely Becky. Yes, we have this purple. Yes, we have this lovely purple. All right, love. Yes, we have this lovely purple. Yes, up for grabs, love. This is amazing purple color. Okay, and next up we have this amazing coffee brown. Yes, coffee brown, friends, is also up for grabs, friends. Coffee brown. Yes, love. If you feel like this coffee brown is doing it for you, love, place your order. Do not miss out on the sale, friends. You have until 4:30, friends. 4:30, okay? Yes, friends. And next up, we have this black and white, lovely geometric rug, okay? Yes, friends, these lovely rugs are super fluffy and comfortable for your feet. Yes, your feet are going to have themselves a wonderful time this winter with these rugs. Yes, these are very soft and easy on your toes and feet, friends. Okay. Yes. Next up, we have this light gray. Yes, this lovely light grey, friends. Yes, light grey is still up for grabs. Yes, friends, light grey is still up for grabs, love. Amazing color, right? Amazing color. Okay, let me see if the link is still there, okay? All right. Let me pin the link, friends. Yes, at exactly 4:30 on the TOT, friends. I'll be ending the live stream. I'll be leaving, okay? So place your orders, friends. Place your orders. Do not miss out on this sale, friends. Do not miss out on this order. All right, tap the link, friends. Tap the link. We have this amazing sale today, friends. Don't miss out on this sale, friends, okay? All right, that was the light gray. And then next up, I have this lovely caramel color, friends. I have this amazing caramel color. Can you see? Yes, friends. I also have this caramel color. Yes, love. Yes, love. Yes, love. These are fluffy rugs, friends. These are anti-shredding rugs. And these are washing machine, washable, friends, and hoovable rugs. Yes, friends, these are so easy to maintain, friends. So place your orders, friends. Do not miss out on this amazing sale, friends. Please do not miss out on this amazing sale. All right. Let's tap that link, friends. Have 4, friends. Don't forget 4:30. 4:30, friends. I'll be ending the live stream. Place your orders as soon as possible. All right, place your orders as soon as possible, friends. If you don't want to miss out on this amazing live stream, the sale, okay? Yes, friends, we also have this lovely blue, friends. This is a lovely blue. You can get it, all right? This is a lovely blue. You can get this blue, okay? Yes, friends, tap the link, friends. This is the blue. You can get it for £22, friends, in the large size, okay? So, friends, place your orders. Place your orders if you don't want to miss out on this sale, friends. Yes, the sale is going to end at exactly 4:30, okay? So place your orders, friends. Do not miss out on this sale. All right, keep tapping. All right, tap the link, all right? All right. Keep tapping the link, friends. We have this amazing sale today, friends. Tap the link, friends. Tap the link. Don't miss out on this sale, friends. Don't miss out on this sale. All right, friends, keep tapping. All right, we have this amazing sale today, friends. Place your orders, friends. Place your orders. Do not miss out on this sale, friends. Do not miss out on this sale, friends. This is a lovely sale. All right, I stopped at blue. Okay. Yes, next up, friends, I have this lovely dark gray, friends. Dark gray. Yes, friends, dark gray is still also up for grabs, friends. Dark gray, okay? Dark gray is also up for grabs, friends. Okay, you have until 4:30, friends. You only have until 4:30 to place your orders, friends. Don't miss out on this sale, friends. Yes, this is the lovely dark gray fluffy rug, friends. Also up for grabs today, okay? Yes. Let's go, friends. Let's tap that link, all right? This is an anti-slippery rug, okay? So you can place your orders, friends. You can place your orders, all right? Keep tapping the link, friends. Keep tapping the link. Do not miss out on that amazing sale, okay?